Hello and welcome to the Easy Allies podcast. Happy Juneteenth, wherever you are, specifically America. Let's go. I am Michael Huber. We are Easy Allies, joined by
Daniel Bloodworth.
There it is. Sometimes I say
sometimes
it.
he says the name, sometimes he just stares at you.
You never know. You got to be on your toes.
He's like Frodo and you're Legolas. He doesn't actually know you.
I'm like, is this a dramatic pause? Oh, I guess it's not.
I do dramatically pause quite often. Also, Robamiani, Michael Damiani.
Hello, how's it going?
Going really well. Better than...
That's his name.
Going really a lot better than the Yankees getting swept by my secondary Angels team. Let's go.
They didn't get swept. They won today.
Almost. Three out of four.
Okay, I was gonna say. I was like, they're not doing too well,
Yeah.
but they did finally win a game. So
Yeah. In the control room, making it all happen. Isla, Hank,
Hello.
how you feeling?
You know, I'm fine.
Pride Month still rolling on. How you feeling?
Pride Month is good.
Legit.
Doing good vis-a-vis, but well, it's complicated, Huber. Things are fun.
It is very complicated, but we see you, we love you, we hear you all.
Thank you, Huber.
Also in there, Don Casanova. Hello. Just talking to Don about Jurassic World Rebirth. We are hyped.
Nice.
And, of course, last but not least, Gabby Montoot. We're seeing 28 years later tonight. Yeah, we are. Let's go.
I'm jealous. I want to see it.
Oh, 10 o'clock show. All right, everybody. We are here to discuss another week in video games. A lot going on. This week's topics. Can't wait to talk about this.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong Bananza Direct. Out of control. Blood and I did the reactions yesterday. We watched it, but we're going to get all of the Allies' opinions on that craziness. FBC Firebreak. I know the reviews are not great. We're going to get into it. I really love this game. PlayStation is bringing in record profits. Xbox talks next gen
Yep.
already.
Here we go.
They're talking about handhelds. They're talking about next gen. Xbox is like, yo, let's get this generation over with. We need to move on to the next one. Let's go.
That's not
Refresh.
a bad call. That's not a bad call.
Yeah.
I mean, they did it before. They jump started with the 360 a year early, right? Like,
And, of course, I know we've done it a lot, but it's a big deal. We're talking about Mario Kart World and the Switch 2 Welcome Tour. Bloodworth has finished.
yeah, we've actually
Both.
played the games now. That's
Yes.
the thing. Like before it was like, okay, we played it for like an hour or two, but now it's like
Yeah.
we've actually played the games.
Yeah.
So I have new takes for sure.
So we'll get some legitimately thoughtful takes on Switch 2 now that the dust has settled a little bit.
Yeah.
And with that, right on point, Switch 2, let's dive right in, Bloodworth. Donkey Kong Bananza Direct.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Like I was already like happy with what I played at the event in New York, but then like they just come out and like this thing, like Isla, what was it? You guys were like tearing up at the end of the direct.
Yeah,
right?
Sophia and I were like, at first we were watching it, we were kind of like, yeah, okay, this seems fine, whatever. But by the end of it, with like baby Pauline and like her journey to find her singing voice, like Sophia and I were both just kind of like, I'm getting kind of emotional. Like, I'm like gonna cry about this. Yeah.
Yeah, the funny thing about this, we talked about this last night, but like there was basically like they had leaked this slightly because there was like art in Korea, I think, or maybe somewhere else, but some key art that had her in it, and people were like, "Is that like a young Pauline?"
Like, what's
and it
going
was
on there?
Yeah, but because like the other versions of the art didn't have her in it. But it wasn't until this that they actually revealed it, and it's so funny.
Which
because
a quick aside, Blood, like let it be known, we always talk about leaks and insiders and whatnot. When a genuine surprise goes down during an announcement, it is such a big deal because it's so easy to leak something like this, like weird store assets in Korea, like leaked, spoiled.
Yeah, but even with that, because we knew so little about it, like there's so much more there, right? The fact that like, oh, she's actually a
Main
character on you. Somebody brought up Pragmata.
Oh my god. Yeah. Totally.
It's Pragmata all
Totally.
over
I see a lot of Wreck-It Ralph memes for sure. Yeah.
But and yeah, like her singing is a whole part of the story and a whole part of your power-ups and just like everything there. So, and she looks great. They're both super expressive.
I know. Damiani, haven't heard a single opinion from you about this. Give the people what they want.
Full disclosure, I'm watching it right now.
Okay.
Sorry. I did not get a chance to watch this. But young Pauline, that's that kid is young Pauline, or
Yes.
was I guessing?
Yes.
Okay, it's confirmed.
Confirmed.
Okay, I just all right.
Confirmed.
I'm only like 2 minutes in. Yeah, I don't know. Like, sorry, you like. Yeah, so let me just say this. I was hoping to not have to watch this at all because I wanted to go. I've already seen enough. I thought what they've already shown was plenty for me, and I was excited. So
Same.
I don't really need to be sold on this game.
Yeah.
And I feel like
anyone who did need to be sold was misguided.
Yes.
Shots fired.
Yes,
no
these
offense.
trailers are for people who want like more. They're like, I'm maybe not into platformers as much, or maybe just not into Donkey Kong as much. And these, like, Nintendo's very good at these. They're very good at these last minute, within a month, hype trailers that finally reveal like a lot about the gameplay and a lot about the premise. We saw this with Tears of the Kingdom, because they did like that first one with like the fusion stuff, and everyone's like, okay, that's something big, but like they didn't show like anything off, remember? And then they dropped like that one last trailer like within 2 weeks. It showed like dungeons and all it showed like everything. I was like, okay, that's that. Like I needed that moment in that game for sure. But this, I mean, I expected there was going to be like more than what they were letting on in the Treehouse Live gameplay and the initial trailer reveal. I was like, there's definitely more stuff. I was like, there's probably more playable characters as well. So
it actually makes me. I appreciated it in the early 2000s, but I appreciate it even more now because it did it 2 decades ago. Red Faction Geomod technology. Shout out.
Oh yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah,
like
I actually played that, Huber.
So
I was impressed by it. Yeah.
And that is exactly the 100% the vibes of Donkey Kong Bananza that I'm getting. But you want to get through there, just blast your way through. It doesn't even matter.
But it's cool that like they're showing like the different interactions of materials and stuff too. Like they're showing like there's like
the wood was so
the
awesome.
Ice ball,
blood.
like you throw an ice ball to like cool off the lava, or like there's one point where there's like there's some kind of like a rainbow substance or whatever, and if you grab a rock of that, then you start floating upwards, But yeah, Damiani, you mentioned other characters, and they're not exactly characters, but as you meet the elders underground, you get these transformation abilities that Pauline can turn you into like a bigger, like beefier Kong, or like an ostrich, or a zebra.
Okay, so,
Damiani, that is I'm a little bummed because that is exactly what I said on the reactions. Was like, I cannot wait for Damiani to cheese the shit out of this game with these transformations because you can swap between them.
Oh yeah, not even gonna need it. Like the fact that they show a clip that you just destroy the whole level. I'm just gonna
the whole level is just gone.
We don't need like where we're going. I don't need power ups, man.
but Damiani,
smash everything.
I want to the whole level, but there's also like they're showing a part where
we'll see.
Yeah.
What was it? We'll put that claim to the test.
Yeah.
What was the movie that says that?
Immediately destroying.
Immortals will put their name to the test.
Seal the gates and prepare for war.
But Damiani, one of the crazy things they're showing is that if you take like sand on the beach, it's basically like making a sandcastle. Like you can grab chunks of sand and like just start like sculpting a bridge somewhere.
It can create.
Yeah,
create and destroy.
Well, yeah, I saw they showed that in, like, the original Treehouse gameplay. So, not that specifically, but they showed something similar. That was kind of cool. But the fact that they're showing there's more ways to do that. Let me ask. So you said transformations. I haven't gotten to anything yet.
You'll get there soon.
Vehicles. Any kind of like
I haven't seen,
vehicular
like, a
stuff, or is it
vehicle.
just the
baby.
There's the minecart
Minecart,
levels are
okay.
in there. They also showed
Rambi.
Rambi is in there.
Yep.
Rambi
Rambi's
and
there.
Cranky Kong, and there was a brief bit in
Dixie,
the end montage where
Diddy.
you're racing Rambis. So you and Paulina on one Rambi, and Dixie and Diddy are on the other Rambi.
They're done.
Ooh.
No, strike first, strike hard, no mercy, Damiani. They're going down.
I'm noticing some pop in this footage though.
You know,
Yeah,
some of
there's a
the
little
like
performance.
not like characters loading in from a little like close. It's just interesting. Like I wonder.
even notorious Switch
technically
graphics
taxing this
hater
game
me
is,
is okay with it. You know.
No, yeah, because of what they're
Obviously-
doing. The fact that you get to destroy everything and you're digging down, like,
Yeah.
I thought I would notice way more things worse. Sorry, I should rephrase that. I thought this game would be like 30 frames and like barely, able to handle some of the stuff, but no, it's on a technical level, yeah, it's pretty cool what they can do with the gameplay in this.
Yeah, and we learned too that there's share play online with another Switch 2.
Yeah.
And locally, but Damiani, even with a Switch 1, there's co-op where the other person can play as Pauline.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
It's pretty interesting because it's like I feel like it's like a play with your kids kind of mode.
Totally.
Essentially, because Pauline is OP. She just shouts words and they fly across the environment and like leave craters. And they were showing like this one boss
It's like some
boss
near
battle
shit right there.
in there where like they were just like wrecking the boss. So it was pretty wild.
Yeah. Truly insane.
Yeah, I'm gonna build shit. I'm gonna build like bridges and shit out of rocks. I'm gonna like
Sand
the
pouring
water
bridges?
stuff. I'm gonna like destroy environments to let the water flow in because I'm gonna do some like water cheese.
I think you can maybe do that.
Whoa.
I'm not exactly sure. Like
I'm gonna
Damiani
flood
the
a boss.
water.
Damiani the beaver.
I'm gonna find a boss and flood them.
but
Sink 'em.
there was a bonus level Damiani where there's like a bunch of like spiked balls rolling down a hill or whatever, and what they did is they like created a crater so the balls would collect in the crater. So stuff like that.
I forgot about that. That was so awesome. Yeah, Damiani, you definitely have to manipulate the environment sometimes for some of these challenges.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I did a few of the challenges, and that's actually something that reminds me of Donkey Kong Country, right? Because you'd find the barrels and you'd go off to collect the gems or whatever.
Yeah.
So those levels are kind of like that, like an expanded version of that. And what was interesting is that you can get a banana by just completing the level, but then there are also hidden ones in there. And so getting to some of those and like, okay, where's the middle banana? I don't see a banana around. And so like you're really having to like search out and find those things.
Yeah.
And one of the things they reveal in here, Damiani, is that collecting the bananas, it's not just a collection thing. Depending on how many you get, you spend them to buy upgrades.
Upgrade.
Yeah, skill
Like-
points. RPG elements, dude. Skill points.
Wait, what?
Full on
Really?
skill points. Yep.
Yeah. So
It's not just cosmetics.
You can
Okay.
increase
And cosmetics as well.
Yeah, so the bananas, you increase your, you can, like, there's some of the simple ones they talked about, increasing health, increasing the power of your punches, increasing the range of your sonar, because, like, when you clap your hands, that, like, sucks in the gold and collectibles and stuff, but it also allows you to see some of the things that are, like, hidden in the earth, so you're not just, like, punching around constantly. You can just clap and see if there's something nearby. But there was another one in there that was like a full-on skill that like allows you to, that move where you can like throw a rock and ride on it?
Yep.
It allows
I saw
you to
that.
surf now. So like the rock will skip across water. And that's something that you have to unlock.
So basically, they're giving us every mode of transport on the water except jet skis. Basically,
Well, yeah.
we've got Mario Kart, we've got Donkey Kong,
Yeah.
everything except Wave Race. Nintendo is taunting us. How does that make you feel, Dawn?
Don's
He's,
cutting a video.
He's angry facing. He's got an angry face.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
But actually, one thing, Don, I don't know if you saw this, you do collect fossils, and that's a currency as well, because you...
This Odyssey team loves dinos.
Yeah, you trade in the fossils for clothing items.
Yeah.
And so you can
Fashion Kong.
Yeah, you can get clothes for Kong. You can get clothes for Pauline. You can change Kong's fur, and
Suspenders the entire time, no
here-
matter what.
But maybe not, because all of these items have perks as well.
Where do we stand there? Quick pause. Where do we stand on having to equip cosmetics that have abilities versus being able to transmog that? Wearing what you want with the abilities.
I'm not a big transmog fan.
Okay.
Usually, so,
okay.
You know,
because sometimes I want the buffs, but I want a different look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you do.
But it's also very
Fashion soul.
Exactly,
Yeah,
Isla.
yes.
Exact. Fashion souls all day.
They're pretty specific though, because like the treasure tie makes treasure chests appear more often, which I found interesting, because that means it's like, oh, they're sort of randomized.
Yeah. What?
In there
That
when,
is
when you're
interesting.
digging around.
I didn't catch that, Blood. Yeah, that is weird.
Swimming breeches, raise your swim speed, and then cyan vest. It was like a life jacket that Pauline was wearing. Expands your
Swimming
sonar
britches.
range.
I think that's Pauline's initial outfit is a clue because everyone was like, what's going on? She's a baby now, but she's an adult sometimes, and Cranky Kong is there, and everyone was very confused. Her outfit looks like it's 1992, you know, in real life.
Like,
So I'm just
look,
saying.
The lore does not make sense.
Yeah.
I'm just
Let's
saying,
just-
she's
let's just
dressed
put-
like it's the 90s.
Let's just put that clear in the air. Like,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what kind of like timeline you want to
Let's
try.
go,
to,
Damiani,
it
you're
does
up.
not
Damiani,
actually
you're
make
up.
sense.
Donkey Kong timeline.
You're
Let's
up,
go.
brother.
Let's go, bud.
Where are we, Damiani?
I have no idea.
No,
What's
we gotta
going
Is
on?
this part of the
research it.
Mario timeline?
We gotta make the video.
Yeah, isn't this in the Mario universe too? So like, aren't we like? And what does Mario Kart World mean for all of this? Like, the revelations in there.
The
It's like,
website apparently says Pauline is 13 in this game.
Oh,
13.
so they actually put 13 on there.
That's
Interesting.
what
Wow.
Chad is claiming.
That is key information.
But so to catch people up as to why someone might be confused. So Donkey Kong, the original arcade game, Mario is rescuing Pauline from Donkey Kong. Then Donkey Kong Country, very specifically, Cranky Kong is the older version of, he is the original Donkey Kong.
I love that lore. That's
And
my
he,
favorite
like,
piece of Donkey Kong lore. That exact thing.
and he actually like talks about, oh, back in our day, we
Yeah.
only had this many pixels to work with, and like has
That's
all
the
these little
best.
jokes and stuff. When
That's
you
the
talk.
best.
Talk to him. But now we have a game where Cranky Kong exists, but Pauline is young.
But like I was saying, there could be some time travel shenanigans or something.
It just doesn't matter.
1992
It's basically what it
outfit.
well,
comes down to.
Mr. Showtime is saying that this could be a prequel to Odyssey, and this is how Pauline becomes the mayor of New Donk City. Like maybe she gets the ability to sing in this.
But
and
then how does
becomes
Cranky
the
Kong
mayor.
fit in?
Cranky Kong's an immortal being.
well, I mean-
he's like Patrick
Yeah.
Stewart, who's
we also
looked
know
85
there's already
since he
two
was 22.
timelines too.
You know, he's like Patrick Stewart.
Because that. Also, there has to be two timelines because one has the Koopa kids, the other has Bowser Jr. So
Yeah.
that's how they
Yeah.
explain they both
Yo,
exist.
even GTA has two
Yeah.
different timelines: the HD and the 2D universes, or whatever. Yeah, two different separate continuities.
Can I just say that I love that the elders are all wearing bananas and headphones?
The elders look so cool. They
my
look
God, wait.
so cool.
Wait,
do the others have scrolls?
wait. Chad is now saying that Donkey Kong was sent back in time to protect Pauline as a child, and then Vic Rattler said, "Come with me
Wait.
if you want to sing."
No,
So is Donkey Kong wait, so what is Donkey Kong then? Where are we staying on the
He's a T-800,
cyborg,
bro.
Cyborg or robot?
Cyborg, absolutely.
Cyborgs have human parts or
Yeah.
biological parts.
Yeah.
We've come.
So we need to see. We need to see if he has some kind of biomechanical
Yeah.
skeleton.
We need to see Donkey Kong's battle damage.
Yeah, we need to capture and skin Donkey Kong.
Oh, Huber, one of the things, we were talking about the different abilities that the outfits have.
Yes.
So you saw with the amiibo, you get that
Oh my
sick,
God, that amiibo.
that
Wait.
sick Pauline
Damiani,
outfit.
there's heavy amiibo action, baby. It's
No.
back.
They
Amiibos are
cost
back.
$30 now, so no,
Dude,
no.
you got to
No,
see this
they're
one.
like
absolutely
18
horrible.
bucks.
Dude, Damiani,
Absolutely horrible.
Damiani, I don't really care for amiibos, but this one is the best I think they've ever made. It's actually the best they've ever made.
I've never bought a single amiibo.
Same,
and this one
same.
I was like, oh.
Same,
okay.
Isla. Same exact feeling. Same.
It's okay.
But
don't need to spend
the
30 bucks.
Diva dress,
Wait till you see
which
it.
looks amazing, by the way.
Yeah, it's
I
ridiculous.
know.
In,
I cannot believe they put that behind the amiibo.
yeah, that's the thing. Like, you have to get
Oh,
the
I
amiibo
believe it.
for it.
Yeah.
And it allows you to it increases the frequency that the soundtrack discs will pop up. So
you're screwed.
The thing I don't care
you need
about.
this. that is blood bait.
exactly, like it's
Oh my God, Isla, yes. Look at that. It's the best ever.
Look at the
Her dress is
too.
insane.
I
Dress is
know. Everything about it. They knew exactly what they were doing. Holy shit.
They know how
Holy
to make
moly.
you pay up.
Yeah.
And then if the,
For already over
Oh my God,
their
those are
prices
the-
on their games already.
Yup.
And now they're making you pay for these amiibos.
Those are the
Let's go,
Nintendo World
Nintendo.
bracelets. If you have the Donkey Kong branded one, it does
Yeah.
something in the game. That's
yeah, well,
crazy.
they always function. They basically
Yeah.
amiibos. But yeah, so if you have a Donkey Kong amiibo, you'll get the Kong letters will pop up, and then those are explosive, so they'll do more damage than normal materials. And then any other just random amiibo, you'll get like a sphere of a different material.
Yeah, to be fair, when we were watching it, I honestly, because this game is so out of control, I expected the old amiibos to have specific functionality, but the fact that it's just random spheres that you can throw gives me no FOMO. It's like, okay, I don't need all these amiibos. I thought they were going to pull a fast one and be like, yeah, you have the Link amiibo, all of a sudden Link comes in and like all this crazy shit. None of that.
It's
None
very
of that.
much like Breath of the Wild. and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
some specific perks, but most of them are just, a little goodie bag.
Yeah.
The last little thing that we probably should hit on is that crazy sculpting mode.
Damiani. Mario 64, bro.
Yeah.
Mario 64. Fast
What do you-
forward to.
So basically,
Isla's
there's
gonna
a
show
sculpting
it
thing,
right
Damiani.
there. 15 minutes or so. Hit
Yeah.
it.
You use the
Get ready.
You use the mouse, and then you can just like sculpt whatever.
It's
like,
Mario 64.
out of clay and paint it.
Even better.
Yeah.
Is this gameplay or what is this for?
It's just like the Mario
It's
64
a side
phase.
mode.
I'm not going to do this at all.
Yeah, it's just a little thing to watch play around with.
Why?
Skip. Nope.
Why?
The game. I'm okay.
Why?
It's cool.
Why?
That's pretty cool.
Why though?
Because it doesn't
because-
look fun.
Because I'm more interested in playing the game than doing this. I don't know.
Fair point. All right. Fair point. Did you like it in Mario 64?
Because it's like 5 seconds of like, oh, I stretchy things, and then I go to the game. It's like
All right. I thought you'd be.
like, even Mario Paint. I was like, the game parts of Mario
Yeah.
Paint. I was like, yeah.
To be
let's do that.
fair, when we were on stream, I said this was absolutely Gabby was going to be hyped
Yeah,
as
I'm curious.
shit on that. I was like, dude, this is Gabby coded. Yep. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. What does she say? Is she nodding or shaking?
She's nodding.
Nodding. There it is. All right.
Nice.
nice.
Well, what's interesting is they showed Donkey Kong at first, and then you kind of like adding on to him. So I wonder how many presets there are, because I could see some people
Yeah.
like not wanting to sculpt a whole lot or
And-
make something super detailed on their own, but like, oh, I'll modify it or I'll paint
Yeah.
it, make it whatever color.
And I wonder if you collect things in the main mode
Oh,
to
that could
add to
be.
that. Like you collect colors.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. You collect different paint colors
or maybe just models.
Yeah. Yeah.
To augment. Yeah.
Totally.
Like like when you get a model view in another game,
Yeah.
instead of just viewing the model, it's like, okay, now you can sculpt on it. Yeah.
Rat King favorite model. Last of Us Part 2. Rat King favorite model all time.
But what was funny though is I saw a lot of people posting the side by side of the Mario 64 Mario face and then the Mario face in this, and like
It actually looks like kinda
1996
better,
to
yeah.
2025, and it's like, yeah, that's how we feel now, because it's just chunky rock textures.
Yeah. It's all just like blah. So
Oh,
funny.
man. But yeah, just the hype definitely shot up on this.
Oh yeah.
I was,
In
I
less
was
than a
interested
month.
before, but now it's like, okay,
Yeah.
let me play this now.
And it initially I thought it was a little weird that it was a month after the launch and, Mario Kart World was there, but now it makes perfect sense. You let everybody vibe out with their new console in Mario Kart, and then right when they might be, good with Mario Kart, it's like, yo, I've been racing for a month. I've been doing these Grand Prix. I'm good on that. Don't have the itch every day like I did at launch.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
And Mario Kart sells like probably 10 times as much.
Yeah, don't overcrowd it because Mario Kart is going to do all the heavy lifting.
Something like 80% of Switch owners have Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Switch 2 owners.
Yeah. Awesome. Any final thoughts on Donkey freaking Kong Bananza?
Yeah, according to fandom.com, the Donkey Kong franchise has sold 94 million units worldwide, and the Mario Kart franchise has sold
Oh God.
189 million copies worldwide.
Wow.
Yeah, 94 million is a lot higher than
That
It's
is
higher
a
than I
lot
thought.
higher, actually.
It's higher than I thought.
Yeah.
But it's 100 million less than Mario Kart.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's the number. For sure. 100 million less. Yeah. Awesome. Coming out so soon. We are officially on Goaty Watch. Absolutely. That's a Goaty hit right there.
I mean, similar to Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom 2, like, as we were talking about with Damiani Cheese, it's a game where just the clips, like, it's just going to keep having this life of its own where, like, did you see what somebody did in Donkey Kong this week?
Yeah,
6 months
totally.
later,
So
I mean, this
right.
game on the whole seems like the lessons they learned from Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and Mario Odyssey kind of put together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like all the
Absolutely.
animal powers, I'm like, yeah, that's Breath of the Wild. Like,
Totally.
the rock going up, I'm like, oh, that's Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, even you're so right. Even building the sand made me think of,
Yeah.
of Tears of the Kingdom a little bit. Or yeah, for sure. Sick. All right. Shifting gears.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are from the beautiful folks at Remedy. Shout out Remedy, we love you.
Yeah.
FBC Firebreak is out.
Yeah.
To divisive takes / negative takes on the whole, I would say. Coming in at a 65% on OpenCritic
Oh,
At-
really?
at the time of this podcast.
Okay. A little early on. Well, I guess there's some pre-launch review.
Blood,
time,
I would
but yeah.
before we even get into it, Blood, I would like to ask you.
Mhm.
Don't you think there is a science to a review and a review score? And that sometimes a game won't fit into that science?
Sort of.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, I do feel like it might be a little bit early for, like, and there's probably still people that are, giving it this week
Yeah.
to see how things play out, But at the same time, it's a game that you
Should
want to
be there.
play with people that you know more than
Yes.
matchmaking.
Yes.
Similar to Night Rain, right? It's like, okay, you can play with randoms in these games, but, it's probably going to have a better time overall if you play with people that you know.
Yeah.
Or at least people that, like, you're comfortable speaking with.
Absolutely.
It's
Gabby
like-
and I have been shredding. We
Yeah.
have been cleaning house. Literally.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing.
I love this game, by the way. I'm just going to throw that out there right now.
Yeah, we want to get Gabby's takes in it, too,
Yes.
because she's been playing a lot. I've
love this game.
not gotten to play a whole lot. The thing
But
that
it's got problems.
I will say is I'm not a big fan of shooting the sticky notes.
That's because you got to be with me and Gabby. I wet them up. She chain lightnings them all.
But is that fun? Is that fun?
Oh, it's
though?
fucking awesome, dude. When I'm fucking watering them all, and then Gabby rolls up right behind me and shocks them, and then all you see in the darkness is
Yeah,
so satisfying. Dopamine.
I think it can work, but the alternative of shooting them is kind of a pain.
Don't shoot non-wet sticky notes. Hit the sprinklers. Get a water kit in there. This
Yeah.
is a game that demands teamwork,
Yes.
and it demands a little bit of trial and error initially, like all games. I don't know why we've really hit this spot, I feel like, where if a game is not immediately understandable or fun within 30 minutes, it's bad. And I don't understand that. Like, things take time to learn. You're not supposed to be an expert at something immediately. Even pivoting to like movies. Some movies are like really slow and boring for a while. And then after you're sitting there, you're like, okay, I'm getting into it. I'm feeling this. Like, even a book. Things take time. Not everything is just bam, 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 immediate fun. I know exactly everything to do immediately,
Sure.
and we're riding it.
The thing I will push back on that, though, Huber, is like I do think they give you too little when you start this game. Like, when I first started with the water kit, and like, we played it at Summer Game Fest,
Yes,
right?
there's a
like,
learning curve for
and
sure.
it was like, okay, well, I have, at Summer Game Fest, like, I had the humidifier, I had the tea kettle, I had, just basic functionality of the water kit. And then when I started this, it's like, I start pushing I was doing the left trigger to start cranking, and I'm like, why is it not working the way it worked at Summer Game Fest? And it was only then after, like, I was out of that match that I saw it was like, oh, I have to earn the crank as an upgrade, and before I do that, it's just like really slow to shoot water. But
you can't crank at level 1?
You cannot crank at level 1.
You can't do anything at level 1. You can't sustain electricity. You can't crank the water. You can't jump as the jump kit.
Yeah.
It's called the jump
level
kit.
2,
you can't
level
do
2
it.
for sure.
And
I just think they start you like...
They start you way like underpowered.
Yeah.
For sure.
And there's a difference between a learning curve. I agree.
The tutorial is bad for
the
sure.
The tutorial is bad.
The
but I
tutorials
agree
have
with
a
you,
tutorial. That's how
I
bad it
agree
is.
with you in that, like, learning a game, like, you shouldn't maybe necessarily understand a game immediately, but something should be fun immediately.
Yes.
Like,
Yes,
you should be
that's
having
what I wanted to
fun
say.
playing a game while you
Yes.
learn.
Yeah.
This to me, I was like, I know this is fun when you have a character that works because I did it at SGF.
Yeah.
But the process of hours of grinding to get your character to level 1...
Way less than hours.
Well,
But
okay.
it's the thing, though, Huber. Like, we did a couple of hours the other night on the stream, and like, I still like maybe just have enough for the tea kettle. Like, I was surprised,
Yeah.
right? Like how slow some of that stuff is.
For sure.
Rather than having some basics at the start, and then
Definitely.
now getting better versions or something.
There are some egregious negatives to this game that are actually shocking to me. As a defender of this game reminds me of Outlast Trials a lot. It reminds me of Left 4 Dead. I love the swing they are taking here. It really feels fresh and unique. We lived in a hero shooter and a battle royale era for so long with multiplayer. So getting something so fucking weird and unique just speaks to me. I love it. But some of the cons are like, yo, Remedy, for real, I hope you're watching, like, 2 cutscenes, bros. 2 cutscenes. Give us a cutscene where our cleaners are walking into the oldest house. At least. Set up a
Well, they're already stuck in the oldest house.
Show that. Show them in the oldest house. Show a little bit of context and a little bit of urgency. Maybe even the menu area where we're hanging out. Have that be a hub that we can explore and walk around and talk to Harry or Jerry or whatever the hell those characters keep spouting. Have some lore documents. There's just absolutely no story elements whatsoever to be found in this entire game. And
isn't
that's
that weird because
that
you
is
pick up all
shocking.
the research, like all the clipboards and everything?
It is absolutely shocking for a Remedy universe game, especially building on the Control universe and being set in the oldest house. It's like borderline inexcusable, but hopefully that might come later, because even Outlast Trials, right? Something to bridge that all together. Being in that hub area where you can arm wrestle people, play little mini games, and having just a basic objective in Outlast Trials of, hey, when I get through all of these levels, the end of them all is going to be a single player mode where I have to escape. That is awesome. That is just the right amount of carrot you need to go through all this. And when you beat all these levels in Firebreak, you're just back to the main menu. No credits, no lore, no nothing. It's just like, hey, keep doing it, raise your level. That's crazy to me. That is just crazy. And I feel like that's not even asking for the world, right? That's like a basic basic ask for a $40 game. The good news is it is on streaming services, Game Pass, PS Plus Extra, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on Extra.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, again, like we were saying, like when you do have that kit built up, like I actually do like the
So
dynamics
sick.
and
Dude, you
and the
feel
teamwork
that.
of it. You know, I prefer the splash kit the most, but
So fun.
I feel like there's still some feedback things like with
Dude,
the,
yeah.
the jump kit. Like
the
I was
jump
very
kit-
confused as
The
to like,
electricity doesn't appear to do like work. It doesn't.
Right.
You don't see it do anything.
It doesn't like
leave.
feel good. Yeah.
There's no feedback at all. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Like
For
that's the
sure.
one I've played the most, and I'm just like, am I doing anything? Like, is something
Yeah.
happening? Like,
Right? Yeah.
The electricity isn't leaving my gun at all. I can't
Yeah.
tell. Like, it's very strange. And
Absolutely.
that honestly feels like an asset like a particle emitter got turned off. Like
Yeah.
it feels like a mistake.
For
Like, it's weird.
Sure.
Like I
For
want
sure.
to like this game, but it's just like.
Yeah.
I don't know, the gameplay loop and like it's just not fun out of the gate to me, like because you're so stymied.
I think I definitely think starting with hotfix, the very first level, was a mistake because players have no idea what the hell is going on when they jump into this game. And Gabby and I playing hotfix, how many freaking times were we saying, "Why am I on fire? Why am I on fire? What do I
yeah.
do? I am hiding behind a wall, ducking down in a safe area, yet I am burning alive and dying." Bad first level. Bad first
The
level.
furnace will just kill you. Chat says that the electric effects were dialed back due to feedback because it was way too crazy before.
Wow.
Split the difference because
Yeah.
now nothing is too little.
For sure.
You gotta be able to
Because-
see something happen when you
Yeah.
use a tool.
Because that really was a magical moment
feel it,
when
yeah.
Gabby and I really started synergizing, and I was wetting all the sticky notes.
Yeah.
And she would come in and
yeah,
just
it's
zap
exactly
'em.
what we were doing at SGF. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's
I was letting him down.
awesome.
I was shocking him.
Yeah, it's
But
so
like,
cool.
But the sorry, our Twitch got
Oh
an
yeah,
ad.
if you're not logged in, you're gonna see the ads.
I
Yep.
thought it was logged in. But that's what makes it so crazy that like water kit at level 1, you push the button and it just goes.
Yeah,
Well,
like,
you can charge it
little
for a
water.
bigger glob, but it's hard to understand like why that's even
Yeah.
an advantage.
Yeah.
Right.
It just doesn't
Yeah.
feel like you're. It's weird, man.
Why do I
Yeah.
need a bigger glob rather than just rapid firing a bunch of small globs? I don't know.
The bigger glob is really, really fast to put out fire. So when somebody's on fire, you just big glob them.
Okay.
And when you're on fire, you can big glob on the ground. That'll put you out.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you're attacking enemies or sticky notes, for example, then the rapid fire
Yeah.
is really good.
But yeah,
so there's
I
just
think,
a lot
I think
of
that's.
little...
I think there's something to that because, like I said, like I didn't even get a tutorial really. Like it just like put me in a match, and there were like button prompts while I was playing with somebody.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't need to ping right now. I thought I already pinged something, and so it would be nice to have.
Wrong browser. That's why.
Nice.
I'm juggling like 3 different browsers in here for different ad.
You're
Add
doing
stuff.
well. You're doing so great.
Because we use my personal for the other stuff for YouTube Premium.
It would be nice to have like sort of an optional extended tutorial or challenge mode, if you
I know,
will.
I
You
know, a
So it's
single
like,
player.
Here's how you can use
Like-
this thing. You know?
Dude, like this much story, like this much. Please, please. Even if the tutorial was the story intro, like, come on. It's crazy. Look to Outlast Trials, one of my favorite 7s of all time. Not even a 7 anymore, a fucking 8+. Like, very similar games.
Yeah.
Very similar 3-player
Or even,
setup,
like-
going on runs. Look to Outlast Trials, dude. They are doing it exactly how you should do it.
Or even like what Night Rain does with the little
In Night Rain.
combat guy,
Exactly.
right? You just pop in there,
And the
grab any weapon,
remembrances.
see what the weapons do, and mess around with that before you actually go out with some people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There needs to be a hub. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they added it later. I don't know. But definitely at launch, even though it's on streaming services for 40. Ooh, and that's where definitely the majority of the negative reception is hit. Because if, you're going to charge $40 for a bare bones game that is upfront, confusing and pushing back, there's a lot there. But also, on my end, it's Remedy.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a extreme level of patience and good faith coming from my end, where it's like, you know what? I am going to come at this from the most chill space and just see how this unfolds. I wasn't even going to judge it at all. It's like, let me finish every level and then I'll judge it. Let me go through every level, figure this out. There's just 5 jobs, you can get through them pretty quickly. But I wanted to get through them all to really form an opinion about it. And I think the foundation is there. I really do. I really love a lot of what this game has to offer. Obviously, we've talked about their flaws considerably. Onboarding, immediately having to level up a little bit to kind of figure things out.
The radiation was
feedback,
another thing where it's like
the radiation.
Love
the radiation.
Why am I on fire? It's like, why? Okay, what's causing the radiation?
Yeah. The little basketballs. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I sort of get it, but it's not clear to me.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like I need to grab this thing, but it's making me radioactive, and then somebody's got to cool you down or something,
also,
right? Yeah.
More good faith, more stuff that I'm a sucker for. I don't know if this is a positive or a negative. I immediately installed Control again. Immediately, are you kidding me?
Nice.
That's fun, Let me just live in this world that I love so much. We're in the oldest house. It's why I loved Resident Evil Resistance so much, because I got to be William Birkin with a pipe and smash other players. And as a Resident Evil fan, that to me is rewarding and meaningful, and I love that.
Yeah.
So being these random cleaners in the oldest house, that just basic premise is exciting. That's so cool. I just definitely wish there was a little more in terms of world building and story and just overall content in general.
Yeah, onboarding. Because again, when we had said this too, when we played it at Summer Game Fest, it's like, okay, this was fun, but one of the reasons it was fun is because we had a guy in our ear.
Yeah, we had
telling us what everything does.
That's me now, and that's me. I'm MLG. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. I definitely want to throw to Gabby for one key part of this game that is absolutely the best part. The corruption modifiers.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of it, but it didn't get to it.
There's perfect timing.
Yeah.
The gas cylinder. So
the snare drum flying around.
Yes. Yeah. So Gabby and I are playing, and for anyone that has gone through Control, they must be aware of the traffic light. Red light, green light, traffic light.
Squid Game?
Squid Game? Yes, Control. Gabby, what the hell happened with this traffic light?
This traffic light was following us all around the map, and then it would light up green or red or whatever, and then do insane amounts of damage to us. So we were running away from this traffic light. The other good one was a hammer that was just whipping around,
spinning
really fast, following us all around the map, and it wasn't doing any damage. It was just there. But yeah, these little items floating around are very funny.
They're so cool. The traffic light, I remember I was just doing my business. I was getting ammo, and I turned around and immediately hit a foot away from me, traffic light, just right there. Obviously, just like the video game Control, red light, don't move. That's a really cool modifier in a game when enemies are swarming the hell out of you. The traffic light's there, it's red. You're I can't move, and 100 enemies are bearing down on me. This is intense. That's some Left 4 Dead vibes. There was also some other really annoying ones, Gabby, the
post box.
The freaking post box puts ice on you. You have to you move really slow.
Yeah, you move half speed.
Half speed.
Really annoying.
Yeah, and then the stapler was killing us because it gives all the enemies more health. So it was just
okay.
I was one-shotting enemies with the revolver. Stapler comes in. It was 2 or 3 shots. It was absolutely brutal.
Yeah, that's rough. Okay, that makes sense now.
Yeah. But that's one of my favorite things about the game, but also a negative as well. because the only way to destroy those is finding that special rock shredder gun. Have you used that at all?
Yeah, I picked it up once.
Yeah, so there's
but you
this.
can only use that after like level 1 or something, because I remember picking it up and trying to destroy something and I couldn't.
Yeah, weird
And I
more level
didn't
gating
quite
for no
understand
reason
why.
other than to prolong the lack of content in the game, of course. Yeah, but you find the shredder and then you can like blast those corrupted items. But I would love it. That little thing takes this game to the next level if there's different ways to deal with the altered items.
Right.
My suggestion was you should be able to like chip away at them with your regular gun, but it should take a lot of ammo. And
Yeah,
then
a
if
lot
you
of
find
ammo.
That special gun, it's pretty quick. Or the other one, like with the hammer or the stapler, like you should be able to snatch it out of the air.
Yeah.
If you can like hit square fast enough, like chase it around.
Yeah, all these quick time events, or even using your shock kit or splash kit, like finding more creative ways to deal with these.
Or something that's not just like another gun. It would be nice if there was.
And
like,
there's only
some kind
one
of,
special
like,
gun.
net or something.
Yeah.
Right? It's only that rock gun.
It's only that rock
yeah,
gun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there needs to be other special guns.
Yeah. So it's again every two. It's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I freaking love this game, and I'm having so much fun with it.
Yeah. Well,
and
like,
I believe
were,
in it. You know,
when we were doing the one with the little, radioactive bowling balls or whatever, it was really fun for me to like be up in an area that was like higher up and just start tossing them down. It's like, here, I'm just gonna throw them down and like create a pile for people, so then they could take them to the little train.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The teamwork part of it is
I love
is
it.
really great
because you can level up your perks to level 3, and when you do that, if you're standing next to a person in their orbit, they get your perk.
Yeah.
Also, the shields as well.
Why is this guy such a pain in the butt, by the way? This dude.
The most annoying enemy of 2025.
Yeah.
Not fun.
Rock guy with the pipe.
Not fun.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah. Econo William Birkin. Get out of
only
here.
shoot him in the back, right? The
Yeah.
red
Yeah,
guy?
but even then, like, sometimes it felt like I wasn't doing
It feels
the
like you're not hitting
right
it half the
damage,
time,
yeah.
Yes. There's something off. There's something off about it for sure.
And then there were times where, like, I would have the wrench and I would just basically be, like, stun locking him, but I wasn't doing damage. It was like, okay, so I need to, like, get somebody else here to shoot him while I'm wrenching him. But then the next time around, like, it didn't feel like my wrench was effective. So it's weird.
It is.
Yeah.
Honestly, feels like early access.
No, you're
Honestly,
not wrong. I was actually thinking that earlier.
It
like,
does.
Should they have, like, put this out as early access?
I think they should have.
Straight up
I think
launching
they
it?
should have.
Yeah.
I think they absolutely should have.
I think people would be a lot more forgiving of it if it was labeled as early access.
Absolutely. 1,000,000,000% correct. 100. Yeah. I want to believe. I do believe.
Especially a game like this that's even though I think they're being fair and reasonable with the scope and scale of their and like demand of their game as a service.
Free
kind of
upgrades
live
coming
model.
later. Everything's free.
Upgrades, nothing timed. All that's very fair.
Yeah.
But like, I just think a game like this, especially one that's such a unique concept and something that's not familiar to the player base, would just benefit so much from an early access period, because then you like work out the kinks.
Totally.
And like introduce the idea of the game
totally
into the zeitgeist, People like learn it in that little forgiveness window, and then the people who actually like it start bringing in other people and like streaming it and explaining it for you.
Absolutely. 1,000,000,000% for sure. Yep. We've got 2 more jobs coming, more classes, more updates this year. They already have a roadmap going. This is Remedy's first multiplayer game, if you don't count that other one they just did the multiplayer for it. No, they did the single player.
You do that every
I
time.
always do that
For
every time.
Crossfire?
Yeah.
Yes, I always do that. They did the single player. Remedy's first multiplayer game and their first self-published game. So like, I'm just like super in the forgiving good faith stage, but also even aside from that, after all my criticisms, late night runs with Gabby, 10 out of 10 fun. Maximum amount of fun. giving me the Left 4 Dead vibes. We even
I was gonna try to join you on Sunday, and
Yeah.
then my internet was completely out because I don't know, somebody cut the wires intentionally. I don't
somebody
know
cut
what happened.
the wires.
No, they didn't tell me exactly what happened,
What?
but they like gave me a refund and said it's like due to an act of intentional vandalism.
Whoa! Lose the
That's
grid or you
crazy.
lose your job. Crazy.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I believe in it. I hope they support it, and I hope it survives because I do really enjoy.
Gavin in chat just eviscerated you by saying Huber had fun with Concord too.
Love Concord.
well, that's a good game.
Nobody played Concord,
Like-
so like unless you played it a lot and you actually have like a really valid
It's a good game with
critique.
ugly characters.
Like if you have an actual if you have actual hours logged and you can critique it, I'll accept those critiques. But if you just say what the internet told you to say, I have no respect for you. So
I think he was just kidding.
yeah.
But
So whichever class you fall in there, I'll let my thoughts be known about Concord. I'm a Concord defender. That was a legitimately good video game. As someone who has played multiplayer games his entire life, I think I am qualified to say that Concord was a really fucking good video game, despite what the internet says. All right. Speaking of PlayStation, this Concord definitely did not contribute to their record profits.
Yeah, this is great. Daniel Ahmad from Nico Partners posted some things from Sony's business segment meeting. What this graph here, the most profitable generation to date, is my favorite thing.
Crazy.
Because the PS5 generation, which still includes PS4, we're just talking about the years, right? 2020 until now,
Yeah.
is not only is it the most profitable generation, it's more profitable than every other PlayStation generation combined. 13 billion in profits.
Wow, they could buy the Lakers. Lakers sold for
136
$10 billion.
billion total revenue.
Crazy.
And the PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4 combined is like 11, I think.
Jeez.
It's crazy. Or no, only 10. Yeah, because it's like 3 billion for PS1, 2 billion for PS2. PS3 lost $4 billion.
Jeez.
And PS4 was 9 billion.
PS3 botch.
Yeah. Well, it's because the architecture on that thing
No
is
doubt, no doubt,
so
no doubt.
expensive.
Of course.
If you look at the graph, like you can
Cell
even see that like
processor.
the first year was crazy
Yeah.
loss.
Whew.
And even like the couple of years before that when they were building the PS3 was like kind of just dead even on PS2 gen.
Then finally that little bump was like, all right, we have Last of Us.
yeah, and then they got back to R&D for PS4 and it went down again, right?
crazy the PS5
Actually, not even.
Came out the gate as their most profitable year. Because usually with these
Yeah.
systems, it's a loss leader for the first year or so.
Yeah.
Because the tech is like more expensive than they're charging for it. But the PS5, not true.
Well, I think because PS4 was still doing pretty well.
Yeah.
So the little bump there, the little positive in 2010, right, for
Yeah.
PS3, March 16th, 2010, God of War 3. Get that bump.
There we
Get
go.
that God of War
There we go.
bump.
And
Can't miss
then-
video game.
Yeah, so then the next slide gets into the crossover stuff. And so this is actually the first year that the PS5 users are higher than the PS4 users. So there's still 46 million active PS4 players, primarily playing live service games. Sorry, my eye is being a
You're
pain in the
good,
butt
you're
right
good.
now. Sometimes this happens when I'm under the lights.
Yeah. The bright lights.
Yeah. And then the last slide goes to PlayStation Plus.
Love slides.
And this one, despite them increasing the prices, Huber, the premium tiers are still higher. They've gone up. Extra and premium are now at 38% of PS Plus users, up from 30% when they first introduced them. Isn't that crazy?
Why do you think that is, Woodworth?
I don't understand why premium is the selling point because it's mostly that's like when you get the PS3 streaming and all that stuff is in there.
PS1 classics.
The extra I understand because those are like new games that people want bundled in.
The extras are really so maybe it's like a lot of people that are like, well, I'm already paying for the extra, I'll just pump it up.
Yeah, I guess so.
Funny that extra didn't grow year over year.
Yeah, it's the premium that's gone up.
Crazy. Drop the price.
Hubert, quote, this is translated into 63% higher spend on subscription services over the first 5 years over the PS5 life cycle versus the first 5 years of the PS4 life cycle.
Yeah. We live in a subscription era.
But it begs the question, record profits. Why is Essential $80 a year, man?
Record profits, dude. Record profits, that's why.
Like, of all the things...
It's like you need it. You
of all
really
the things,
need it.
I can understand
It's annoying.
parts and physical items raising the PS5 price.
Absolutely. Hardware.
I can
absolutely.
understand larger teams and having to pay people more because of inflation, raising game prices.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why you have to raise subscription prices when you're already making record profits.
Yeah.
That's the one I don't get. That's the one I don't have a justification
to make up for the Concord losses.
But the Concord losses are like they wrote off that whole
I
insane
know.
game with basically no money coming out of it, and it's still record profits.
Yeah.
They
You
raised
just-
the prices because Xbox is $10 a month, and you need it to play online. Like, all of this started when Xbox started forcing you to pay to play with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's for something called
Yeah.
essential.
Well,
it's
no,
insane.
and now that we do live in the Netflix era, I like to call it, it's so standard. You know, people will complain about subscriptions all the time and how annoying it is, but it's almost at this point like gas, where it's like, well, I'm not going to get cable TV. I need my subscription, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
I can subscribe and cancel as much as I can do,
Right.
but still
But they
living
make
my
that hard
life
too, right?
Yeah, of course.
Because I'm grandfathered into the Xbox Game Pass plan that doesn't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, so like I can't cancel. If I cancel,
never
then my price
cancel.
is gonna go up, right?
Yeah,
Like
Damiani, dude, I know you have thoughts about subscription services, dude. What's your take on that stuff?
Too damn expensive. There's too many of them,
Exactly.
right?
Yup.
I mean, but it's how Sony's making their money, man. So I mean,
Yeah.
they know people will pay it. I mean, they're just doing what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
I mean, people will pay it. They
Yep.
they see it as essential.
Yeah.
I mean, when so many things are tied to,
Yeah.
you know, I gotta play online. I want my cloud saves.
Definitely need
It's
those cloud
like
saves,
pay up.
Yeah.
Cloud saves. It's like that's border. Like they
That's
know.
extortion.
Like Nintendo knew, and Sony knows. Like they all know. Like they're like we know. It's like the last one is like what PC storefronts are the last ones that don't charge you yet. You know, just wait for the day like Steam starts charging you like a monthly fee to like sync your saves and stuff like that. It's like
Yeah.
oh gosh, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it just, again, I compare it to gas, where you're gonna complain you hate it, and you're gonna press that pump, you know. It's like what can I do? I need it.
right.
I need
Yeah.
PS Plus.
You're
like,
not playing. Yeah, you're not playing Firebreak without it, right?
Exactly.
So yeah,
So, yeah, that's why I'm really
we're definitely in a
diligent
weird
about-
position on that. It's like no, we like literally need it. Like I literally, you know, had to buy a Switch 2 because I'm gonna cover this stuff.
But Game Pass, on the
yeah.
other hand, I do like subscribe and cancel, like
Right.
pretty often. So
Yeah, because you don't need it every month.
yeah, I need to start doing that with Netflix.
I've never even been on
Freaking,
Netflix.
that's crazy. Good for you. Good for
Ever?
you. Good for
No,
you.
I haven't. Yeah.
My God.
Good for you.
Did you ever get the DVDs back in the day?
Love that.
Yeah.
Love the
Yeah, 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 yeah.
DVDs. So classic.
Did some Netflix DVDs and some GameFly.
Love
games back in the
GameFly.
day, yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm watching
Incredible.
Mercy for None right now on Netflix. It's a Korean John Wick show. Check it out. Any other thoughts on PlayStation's Record profits.
No.
No.
Just
Well-
give me an actual essential.
Now that, yeah,
That's less than 80 a year.
right. Now that Switch 2 is at the table, see how the competition heats up.
No, it won't. That won't have any effect on that stuff,
Yeah.
What
unfortunately.
competition? You mean the contest to see who can raise prices the highest? It's like inverse of what's supposed to happen, right?
Damn it, Damiani. Speaking facts over here. All right, we've been talking about Nintendo and PlayStation all day. Let's switch it over to Xbox. It is January 19th. Happy Juneteenth. 2025. And here we go. Xbox is talking next gen. Holy moly. On Tuesday, they announced a partnership with AMD to co-engineer their next generation hardware, including consoles, PC, handheld, and cloud. Quote, the collaboration aims to up-level.
Off level, that's a word, huh?
Here we go. this is the new business speak. They aim to up-level the player experience. There's the staple of PR.
Why would they not just say level up? Because it's talking about gaming.
I don't know.
Morons. I
Economic-
hate corpos, dude.
Economic headwinds, Isla. Economic
yeah,
headwinds.
for real.
The collaboration aims to up-level the player experience by delivering advanced graphics with enhanced visual quality, more immersive gameplay using the power of AI,
Then throw that in there.
and compatibility with players' existing Xbox games library.
That's good. Keep that in there.
That whole sentence, though, is together, Xbox and AMD hope to enable play across devices in entirely new ways, delivering an Xbox experience. Use some synonyms. Right-click, experience, synonyms. Dude, throw a different one in there for sure. Designed for players without being confined to a single store
That's the most interesting thing. That's why I bolded it. Yep.
or tied to one device. They also talked about working closely with the Windows team to ensure, quote, Windows is the #1 platform for gaming. All right. Where are we here, Bloodworth? Take it away, man. What are your thoughts on
I mean,
them already just kind of doubling down?
Yeah, I mean, we've heard some rumblings about that before when they're talking about, their own dedicated handheld, which is now on pause or whatever. Would include the ability to play Steam games, and this is kind of like going back to that too, like along with the consoles. Of like, okay, you just start booting up Steam games in your living room, and like, the Xbox interface basically look like, Windows Lite, which is what they're pointing to as well. That like it's just going to be running Windows essentially. And will that be a good idea or a bad idea?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot you're going to have to take out of Windows to make that actually not just bog your console down.
I remember Shadowrun Returns. Was it Shadowrun Returns? Shadowrun. Xbox Windows Live or whatever. The Windows Live game.
Oh, games for Windows Live.
Games for Windows Live. Shadowrun.
No. Don't bring that back up. But the Dreamcast ran a version of Windows for its OS.
Shout out Dreamcast. We love you. Damiani, more handheld vibes from Xbox. Really seems like they're pivoting that way. What is your take on them just kind of going into the handheld market in general? Where do you see that going within the next couple years?
And I mean, I still don't know if they're actually going to make their own dedicated versus what they're doing with Rog.
Our favorite name, Rog.
I'm gonna make Don bleep every time you guys say
I
Rog.
love that. Do it, Island.
Bleep
Do
it out.
Yes. Beep.
Rog. Rog. It's like
Rog
Roger.
you,
We call it
dude.
the Rog.
Rog, you guys.
It's short for Roger. The
Rog
Roger
for
LIS.
me.
No, it's a hard G. It's ROG for gamers.
I
don't
hate
like
it so much. I
like it.
hate it.
Roger.
Roger.
So funny. I do not understand it. It's just this It's like the underwater structures. It's just doing the same thing. It doesn't make sense, but it's happening.
You just gotta put Xbox in the name of everything.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'll have who else could, have maybe some other people making some Xboxes as well. Some other companies that throw their names in the ring. So maybe we won't have to call it the may have the Asus. the
ROG is
Asus
Asus,
ally.
right?
I know,
Asus.
but like
It's a
don't change
Republic
it to
of
that.
Gamers, but
Like we
that's
don't like
stupid
ROG
too.
anymore, so Asus, and then like we'll have the LG of the Dell. I don't know. It could just go on forever, but I mean, yeah, I still think like the consoles like is probably like an important thing to them, and I mean they've made it pretty clear, and definitely been very wrong about this. Like there was a certain point at the mid level of the previous generation, I was like, I don't know what Microsoft's going to keep making hardware, man.
Yeah,
like,
same.
They feel like there's going to be services of business, but it seems like they want both. They want it all.
Yeah.
I do feel like they're seeing something there. Even though their hardware sales seem to be like trailing behind Sony and Nintendo in general, like I feel like on a global level, that's accurate. They seem to be like okay with that because they know that's a market they want to like keep being a part of, and it keeps that brand visible. And I guess like it's like, how are they seen as like a gateway to everything's an Xbox mentality that they're going for, which is obviously casting a wider net, and they're trying to like get more people into that. I don't know, like maybe they're seeing like console gaming, it will always be a staple. It's something that people prefer, like a box or something. Like I guess like the evolving definition of a PC. Like that's the whole thing with they were saying like the expanding their service to PC, like PC certified. They're throwing around a lot, for their Xbox games. I wonder if this is just them trying to like break that mentality and just like there's like no difference between like PC and Xbox, as a console. It's just an Xbox.
right.
So like
PC,
you don't even have to think
handheld,
about
Xbox,
that. And
console.
like I wonder if they're just like aligning with how consumers are going to start thinking about it, and it'll be weird. Like it would be a weird situation like in like a few years if it's like, well, Sony only makes consoles, and like that what is PlayStation on everything? Like watch people like actually be like, why isn't Sony on everything? Why isn't it on my
it could get there
handheld?
easily.
Like,
Why isn't it on Netflix? Why can't I subscribe to Netflix and play Days Gone or something? Yeah.
I mean, this is also why Nintendo might be doing their usual dumb stuff like the Nintendo Today app and stuff, because like they do things like that where it's like they do it their own way, but they're still going to be like everywhere. You just have to use their own thing on everything.
Yeah.
But I think only Nintendo can like do that. But anyway,
It's pretty crazy, Damiani. In 2025, on this day, I find it hard to believe that Nintendo will ever go back to a non-handheld or hybrid. Do you agree with that or no?
Oh, yeah, I don't think.
Oh yeah,
Are they just forever now? Forever hybrid or
this
handheld?
was the Switch was the missing link, or the secret sauce that Nintendo on a hardware level I think had been working towards. I think they knew that was always going to be the end goal for probably like over a decade. It was just about on a corporate level getting everything prepped, and what from R&D for that machine where tech was far enough ahead that it also wouldn't cost more than it's like too expensive, plus everything they did within their studios and their software divisions to streamline that, so there were no longer dedicated console teams and handheld teams. They were all just now one software team that would be developing for one platform going forward. So yeah, that definitely makes that definitely feels like they were going that direction, and they've solved like a key part of their identity. Like I think it'll be shocking And at some point, if they don't do that, like that would be like major news versus like I expect like Switch 3 to be like more of the same, honestly.
Blood, could you see Xbox just straight up copying Nintendo for their next console and it being a hybrid?
No, because I think what they're getting at here is that they're going to have this whole array of devices, and you can just. That's why they're like focusing so much on Play Anywhere, and when we started this generation, they were talking about smart delivery. And it's like, okay, the game can just identify what you have and like suit the specs to give you. It's like, okay, you're gonna be playing on an S. We're gonna download the one with the smaller file size, that plays on the S. And so I think this is all just kind of an extension to that. One thing that somebody I saw bring up was Steam machines. Remember when Steam was trying to get in on that?
Yeah,
And like,
I remember that.
Whoa.
Brand Steam, have PCs where they just ran the Steam OS and everything, and where they're customized for games. I think that's essentially like what they're getting at here is that Xbox is trying to get a version of Windows that will just play across everything, be more streamlined, but then still have access to something like Steam.
Yeah. Windows definitely feels like one of their biggest assets.
And
for sure.
the Play Anywhere is basically cross-buy, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, if you bought a game through Xbox, okay, now you can play it on a handheld. Now you can play it on a PC. Now you can play it on a console. Like all of that, like you don't have to think about it. Your save file just uploads, and you want to pick it up somewhere else, then cool. You go to a friend's house, want to play a game, play it on their PC, whatever. Like that's essentially what they're going for, and being on PlayStation is part of that. So
This is all just a backdoor.
Shady deal.
It's an evil backdoor plan to bring back the Windows Phone.
But
Isla, you totally had a sidekick, didn't you?
I did not.
Ooh, Gabby did. Gabby told me she had a sidekick one day.
Oh.
I had the Razor.
I definitely had that like really skinny, really thin.
Razor. The Razor.
No. Before that, it was. Let me try to find it. What was it? It was like a Nokia or something.
Sick.
But I do wonder how those things cross over, right? Like Steam, like big picture mode was part of it. It's one of the things that got
Big
kept
picture mode. I remember
from that.
Yeah.
No, it's still there.
It's still there, of course.
Yeah.
But I remember when it was like a thing.
Right.
Now it's
Yeah.
like whatever.
Yeah. But you also have those pop-ups on Steam now. It's like, hey, this plays best with a controller. Plug up controller. All that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's sort of like paved the way for Xbox to do this.
You're so right.
And that could actually be a substantial advantage because we've seen how important Steam has been these last couple of years. It's like you didn't put Final Fantasy on Steam at launch. Like that's a you problem.
Boomer
You should have done
story.
that.
Boomer story.
And so if you just have a console that like makes it easier to play Steam in the living room,
it's nice.
that actually could be a game changer.
Yeah.
Especially with all the Steam sales and everything there.
I've said this story before, but one of my favorite stories of the past was my brother and I. We grew up with Counter-Strike.
Mm-hmm.
Loved the best. 1.2, 1.3, whatever. When Steam launched and they made you have to go through Steam to play Counter-Strike, we were so upset. My brother was like, we just want to play the game. What is all this? What is all this extra shit? And it's like, now look where we are. Like, Steam is so important. It's like one of the most convenient, honestly, ways to play games on PC. But I'll just never forget, like, the actual launch of Steam is insane.
Yeah, I have actual memories like that too.
Visceral memories, I love. Visceral.
When Steam came out, we were all like, "What the hell is this?
Annoyed.
Just let me download my games directly. What the hell?"
Yep.
And now I'm like, "No, Steam is great."
Yeah, I'm like, it needs to be on Steam. Why are you not on Steam? What's going on
If
here?
something's not on Steam, I'm like, "What's happening?"
Yeah. Like, who pissed someone off? What's happening here?
Yeah. Damn it! What was this phone? It was like I could spin it. Because it was perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Oh.
No, I don't think it was a juke. It was like really thin.
It'll come.
It was like
Chat will help
4
you.
credit cards thick, and like this wide, like 2 fingers wide.
Chat knows. They'll help you.
Juke? That's a dumb word. I don't remember that. Hang on.
Isla's had too many phones. This is what,
Too many
this is what we know.
Yeah, you get a new phone all the time.
Yeah. It's like a
No,
PC.
not the Juke. It didn't collapse. It was a single. It didn't fold. It didn't rotate.
Also
I think I've had 6 phones.
wow. Also, just without being confined to a single store, like you said, Bloodworth, and Gears of War coming to PlayStation. It is the dawn of a new era. Specifically, just for games always, but for Xbox, definitely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Really pushing Game Pass as they've been doing, but then of course the handheld market, putting their games everywhere. So, what will happen? I just want to know what their next console is going to be. I'm very curious. It could be so many different things.
How bad will the name be?
The newer,
What comes after Series?
yeah, the newer Xbox Giga Alpha XX future Xbox, newer. Who the hell knows? Yeah, it's gonna be horrible, horrible. Worst names of all time.
I found it.
Yeah.
This fucking weirdo.
Oh. That's a nice phone.
No, what I meant was that round button was in the middle exactly of the phone. And so I could put my thumb on it and rotate the phone in my hand. I could spin it because it was perfectly in the center of the phone.
I love that.
It was great. I also
That-
had a BlackBerry.
That sounds very fun.
Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, no, that is
Anyway.
beautiful. That is we love the
Thin
memories.
is in when it comes to
Thin is
new
in.
cell phone is the name of this name of this article.
Yeah. All right, we've got more to come. But if you've been liking this podcast, take a minute to like, subscribe, and ring that bell on YouTube, Twitch, Patreon. Do it all. We need you. We need you. It is.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Help us out. Generosity. Whatever you want to contribute. We love you. We see you. We hear you. We're out here with the #1 gaming podcast on the biz. That is a self-proclaimed title. That's not actually true. But we think it's the #1 quality video game podcast.
Hey, the more and more time goes on, I think like 80% of success is just telling people that you're the best. Like, it's not funny. You just tell people that, and after a while, it just starts happening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Self-proclaimed. And now a word from our sponsors.
When we're young, we dream of being all kinds of stuff. Tornado chaser, paleontologist, spy. I ran around with a floppy disk with a knock list on it quite a lot as a kid because of Mission Impossible. Mine were all movie related, but I'm sure, most people, firefighter, astronaut, president, princess. As you get older, your dreams change and you focus less on running the world or getting the knock list and maybe running a business. But, how do you know you have the skills to make that dream a reality? You're going to need all kinds of stuff. You're going to need a website. You're going to need a payment system, a logo, a way to advertise to new customers. It can all be a lot. Really overwhelming, confusing. But thankfully, that's where today's sponsor, Shopify, comes in. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the United States. From household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started. What if you can't design a website? Shopify has got you from the get-go with beautiful ready-to-go templates that match your brand style. What if you need a hand? Get help with everyday tasks like enhancing product images, writing product descriptions, or generating discount codes with Shopify's AI tools created for commerce. What if people haven't heard of your brand? Shopify helps you find your customers with easy-to-run email and social media campaigns. And what if you get stuck? Shopify is always there to share advice from their award-winning 24/7 customer support. Turn your dreams into and give them the best shot at success with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/allies. Go to shopify.com/allies. Once again, that is shopify.com/allies. Check it out.
And if you are a patron of Easy Allies, we love you. Thank you. Alrighty. Nintendo all the time. Mario Kart World. It's been out for a couple weeks now. It is absolutely the second biggest franchise of all time behind Grand Theft Auto. Not that it's a competition. They both involve racing around in vehicles. People
true.
like it, apparently. People love racing. Fast and the Furious,
Vehicles,
billion-dollar
open
franchise. We love
Hey,
it.
there was a Fast and the Furious heist with Nintendo already. You didn't see that?
What?
Someone jacked like 3,800
Oh.
twos. Like
Yeah.
over $1 million worth of switches were
Dominic
stolen from a
Toretto?
truck on the way from Colorado to like
Yeah,
to like GameStop's headquarters.
Straight up truck hijacking, dude. Absolute East Coast mafia coded. All right. Mario Kart World has been out for a minute. The dust has calmed and settled as eyes
Well, we've
look.
had time to actually play it.
We've had time to play it.
That's
As
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
We had Summer Game Fest, and
Yeah.
during Summer Game Fest, I left my Switch 2 for Damiani to mess around with.
Yeah.
But now he's home. He's got to play it on his own. I've got to play it. I've been through. Yeah, I've done the full Grand Prix. I've done the full knockout tour.
Every Grand Prix.
Yeah,
Every single one.
yeah. Seen credits.
Boom.
And I've done a lot of open world stuff. Still a lot more that I need to do. The open world's pretty cool. And then I played like 4 hours of online last night.
How'd you do?
I did not quit until I beat a knockout tour against randoms. That was
Sick.
That was
Oh.
that was a challenge.
I love those. I love those, dude. I love when you're just like at a boss in something or you're doing something online like that and you're like, I'm not going to bed until I win.
Well, because it's Mario Kart, and so there's so many times where like somebody will hit you with like lightning, and then like 12 cars will run over you.
Yeah.
And, like, cool. I guess I'm not fourth place now. And then Damiani, what is your progress
Yeah.
status?
How you feeling, Damiani?
Yeah, so I mean, when we played it, we played a lot of knockout tour and the battle mode and stuff. So I, didn't really get to see a lot of the courses or do the free roam. So I have just been doing the Grand Prix and the free roam stuff since I'd already messed with everything else. I think knockout tour is like it was a great,
So
knew it was gonna be a
fun.
good concept for
So
what
fun.
it is for the multiplayer part because
Yeah.
I think like it's can get because it's something
fun.
that's quick. It could be quick. Like if you lose, you're out.
Yep.
You can,
Honestly, I don't want to sound like the most casual human of all time, but it really gives me a little bit about battle royale vibes.
Yeah.
You know?
it is that. It is. Yeah,
It does. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's just their way of.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But like,
Yeah.
it works, and I think it provides an alternative. So I mean, they made a lot of really good changes here. I do enjoy a lot of what I've seen in the Grand Prix in terms of like track variety and environment variety.
Tracks are so good.
I will say like it's kind of interesting the traveling between concept when you the first lap is like traveling to a new location and then you get like 2 laps of that and it like changes. So like that's how they're handling like the dynamic nature of like tracks, or some other games have done that differently. And it's enjoyable, but it's like also I was worried I was gonna like you do like one true lap of like a course and then like that's it. You don't really get to like see it again in that setup. But what they did is they did some really cool things, especially like older tracks. Like combining multiple tracks into like one track is like a really cool concept, like they did with all like the original Super Nintendo Mario like Mario Circuit, whatever it was called, like the Mario levels, and like they combined like all
with the walls. Yeah.
Yeah, they combined like all of them or 3 of them at least. Because I
Wow.
remember, like, I was like, oh, it's the first one. That's very cool. And Koopa Beach, I was like, oh heck
Yeah.
yeah, like this, like just
Was that
seeing
from
it like.
64?
That's Super Nintendo.
What
as
was
well.
the 64 one where you
But I think
launched,
there are-
launched on the ramp to go through?
Oh
the,
yeah, that's
Which one is that?
That's another Koopa Troopa Beach.
I
don't
love that.
even know if it's called Koopa Beach, Koopa Troopa Beach. I like you can
Yeah.
do all the corrections
Help us
you
out,
want.
chat, because that is one of my favorite.
But it's the
courses
one with like
ever.
the Koopa Troopa like landmark as well on the 3 in the 64 one. But yes, the ramp up into that cave.
Yeah,
Yep.
dude,
Oh yeah, I know that.
iconic,
The
iconic.
little like crabs on the beach and the water level
Yeah,
receding. Yeah,
dude.
like that wasn't there too
Yeah.
in 64. But yeah, like, and as you said, like they do some really cool stuff with the music as well, like remixes.
Blood's freaking out about the music.
So the thing
freaking
is,
out, dude.
you get a certain level of the music just doing the races, but if you're only like playing online or playing races over and over, you really don't get the good stuff. Like the good stuff is popping up, open world. Like when you're free roaming around, the stuff that they play is just like, are you kidding me right now? Just like jazz renditions of things, or like guitars going off, or like you'll recognize it, and then they just start vibing. Like there's like multiple versions of like the Super Mario World theme. There's stuff in there from Super Mario Land 2. There's the one that really got me was like I heard this Mario Paint song coming up with this live band, and it's just like it's one of those things where it's like the benefit of being like one of the biggest franchises is like, you know, like, yeah, we want to take this obscure song and spend like $10,000 to do a live version, and people are like, yeah, go for it.
Blank check for Mario
Green
Kart
light for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this game really, I mean, it has a lot to do. Mario Kart's always been, by definition, evergreen. And this one feels really good in that regard as well, that I can play for a little bit here and there and feel like I'm making progress, because just doing like a Grand Prix takes like 15, 20 minutes of your time to do like the 4 races.
That's a good amount of time.
And in place, you'll get coins, so you feel like you're constantly unlocking new vehicles. And then, as you said, like you can get new characters from like completing Grand Prix, also collecting the little like fast food bags and getting alt outfits, which I think is, it's good to have that being unlocked in the game, because that was one of the most desirable things people wanted, including me, wanted from the new Mario Kart was, hey, that Mario Kart Tour mobile game you made, we put all those cool cosmetic things in there, and you didn't give it to us in any of the other games. Can we get that in this next one, please? And don't make it all microtransactions. So like, they're totally going to do like a season pass or an expansion pass, whatever they call them, for whatever they're going to call them. Because they probably won't be called the same thing.
They'll come out with an expansion the day GTA 6 launches, Damiani. It'll be a glorious day.
It will be
Grand Theft Kart. Let's go.
It'll be the New Donk City expansion pack, where I just drive around New Donk City, and it's like you're taking down like the Kong crime family.
It's a good day.
There you go. And it's like set after Donkey Kong Bananza. You see what goes down in the ending of that game. Oh, it'll be paid off in that DLC for sure.
The new Barbenheimer.
But yeah, the costumes though, like they're like legitimately great rewards.
10 out of 10.
They are so good.
I still don't appreciate the way you unlock them. Just like load character, collect.
No. That is a way that you can cheese it to
one
unlock
way,
them.
but that's not how I'm doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
I just am always in the case where it's like, why, if there's an easier way to do it that is in the game, you're gonna do that way.
It's not easier. You're just grinding. That's the thing. Because I'll tell you, like, because trying to do that and like it kind of goes back to something a point I want to make about the open world just in general. Like,
Witcher 3, my favorite conversation with you.
This is kind of similar in that, like, this is a great game to play and do a little bit of a time and get surprises out of, and the costumes are part of this. Mm-hmm. And it is not made to clear a checklist, and I think it is like very intentionally like avoiding that in a lot of ways. It's like, because like if you look at the map, you can see that like, okay, there's X number of blue missions that you've gotten and X number of peach coins that you've earned and all of this.
Bowser is the greatest designed character of all time.
Trying to go around and like exhaustively find all of that is not the most enjoyable thing to do. But if you do a mission, then chances are when you finish that mission and if you've accomplished it, then if you just look around from where you are, oh, there's another thing to go after. Oh, there's another thing. But if you try to like exhaustively go up, like there are dead spots on the map, right? There's like hills and stuff where there's not really anything there. But it's more about like following your nose and following your eyes and getting those surprises. And I think that, again, like with the costumes, it's fun for like a couple of minutes to swap out characters and like, okay, see what the popcorn gets you for this guy. But then after 5 minutes or so, it's like, okay, I'm done with this. Let me go do something else.
I mean, it's boring, but it's the most efficient way.
But
so when there's a less efficient way in a game that takes time, why would I spend more time?
You're not wasting time. You're just playing the game and getting a surprise.
Of course.
It depends on what you care about, Huber. If you're trying to rush to get everything done right away,
it's not about rushing. It has nothing. But that
strategy. So that strategy is absolutely about rushing. Okay, here we go. It's a grindy, boring, shit ass way to do it, and the only people who are doing it are people just want them immediately to feel that sense of gratification.
There's no
or
gratification.
to show them off because they're content creators.
It's not gratifying at all.
Here's all the things. It's not
You're missing
gratifying.
my point. It's not gratifying at all. I'm saying because that way exists at all, it devalues the other way to obtain them.
No, it doesn't.
This is different than easy mode in FromSoft.
This is horrible, Huber. Like watching you do it.
Don't do it if you don't want to do it.
Yeah. It like honestly, like to me, I'm just saying for me, it looked like like a terrible way to do it.
Yeah.
Boring, annoying. I would like want to stop playing. Where just playing the game normally and getting them slower over time because there's so much else to do. Like I don't
think you understand how it works because each
and they don't give you any benefit other than their cosmetic.
But if I'm gonna find one in an area, I'm gonna just get everybody's.
But here's the thing, Hubert. Like the grand,
you have to go through every single character. It takes 10 minutes. It's insane. It makes no sense to do it like that.
People finding out cheese meta versus
you're gonna play this game for 10 years.
Developers'
it takes
intent.
Takes
You're
one day.
Crazy.
But it's not the point though, because like Hubert, it's so much more fun.
Of course it is.
Because what I'm saying,
I'm not arguing that. Of course it is.
The way that the knockout tours and the Grand Prix are designed, you go through all of these zones.
Yeah.
Right? And so like if I look at the map and I see it's like, okay, I've got like 2 Mario costumes left. Mm-hmm. Then I just play the Grand Prix that I haven't beaten yet or that I haven't beaten on 150cc or whatever yet.
Yeah.
And when I see a food bag, I pick it up. Maybe it gets me something new, maybe it doesn't. And then I just hang with Mario for a while until I unlock those costumes.
Sure.
You know? And
I would love it if that was the way to just get them.
That is the way to get them. You don't have to force yourself to grind. Like there's no you're just being obsessive compulsive for no reason at that point.
Maybe it's a disorder. I don't know.
But it goes back to what I was saying. It's like it's sort of like, again, another example is like the moons in Mario Odyssey, right?
Yeah.
It's like there are far more moons than you need, right? And with this, it's like if you look around, like there's those P-switches for missions all over the place. And there's so many different varieties of missions and things. And like all of them are like, this is a cool thing to do. And like it doesn't unlock anything great for you. Like most of the things that you unlock are like stickers for your profile.
Also, Hubert, like, do you see a bunch of people doing this grind strategy? Because I just started doing that on stream so we could try to see more costumes. Like, it was just because we were streaming.
I don't care what any human does.
I don't sit there and do this.
I don't care what any human does with their game, ever. I don't give a shit. Play your game the way you want to play it. I just know that when I will unlock those costumes the legitimate way, knowing that there's like this immediate cheese way just makes it less rewarding for me. I love earning things in games. I love the slow
that this cheese way
treadmill.
is so ridiculous and so convoluted that it barely even qualifies.
I think it's
this isn't meant to be a challenge either.
I think it's the most
unlocking
obvious
costumes
thing.
isn't meant to be a challenge though. It's like you literally pick up an item that's planted.
Then just give me the costumes. Why do I have to?
But like I think it's about the
point?
surprise of seeing what it becomes.
Yeah,
if you didn't look ahead and see. Also, it's a boost item. So in a race, it's like a mushroom. It gives you a boost when you use it. So it's actually tactically, advantageous to gain it.
Also, this is not a hill I will die on, but I am also shocked that nobody else feels this way. That's why
also caught in 4K, dude. You're smiling and laughing and clapping at these costumes
I would care more
in the stream right now
because they're the best. Yeah. But that is, I just didn't like the way that you unlocked them. I thought there would be more of a meaningful. Oh, you win a Grand Prix, you get a costume. Awesome.
We get a character if you do that. You get a whole new brand new character if you do that.
Cool.
Something a character. And like by collecting coins you unlock new, parts. Like they have all those working towards it. I think this would be more of an issue if this impacted like something like this, when it impacts multiplayer, or something about like the gameplay where you get like a tactical advantage by like doing it that way, like or skipping ahead to like make progress before other people because you used like a cheese way to do this, and it's like you feel like that's kind of unfair that like people went into a cave in Destiny, got all the like best guns or whatever by mining in there for a glitch or whatever.
Again, just in my history of playing video games, one of my favorite things to do is earn costumes. I think it's one of the coolest things of all time, and I love when it's really meaningful and special, and it's like, yeah, I did something cool and I got that.
I will say there's.
I don't think it's cool in this. That's all I'm saying. I don't think it's cool in this. That's all I'm saying. It's done.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
The last thing I'll say about it, though, Hubert, about the costume thing, is there is like the popcorn. Like there's almost like a sense of like a little bit of a rarity to some of these, to where like some of those like you'll come across like the burger or whatever more often, and others like this popcorn like. The popcorn's pretty much only it's in fewer places.
Exactly. Better swap characters when you find it.
But
it's
do
like,
that. That's part of like one of those things. It was like, oh, okay, well, like where do I've still got like one left on this character. Like, what's the thing that's gonna unlock it? And so when you finally do like come across it in a race or something, it's like, oh, that's really fun.
I definitely think the intended way is just to come across them naturally. Like
100%.
Again, we were just doing this as like a showcase.
For sure.
And it's so annoying. Like, I don't think anyone would actually sit and do this. Like, because you don't know which characters. Like, one item gives like 10 characters out of 30 a costume. Yeah. Like, the math on that is so ridiculous if you're trying to do it with every power up.
Yeah,
it's like not feasible to do it like this.
It would take a day.
And that's stupid.
It is.
Like, I think we all agree.
Yeah.
This isn't the way to do it.
No.
It was just we were just showcasing costumes on stream.
Yeah. Love the.
Please forgive me.
What else do we do? I will say, Hubert, you need, when you get a chance to play it, you need to play that full Grand Prix.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Because...
Dude, Knockout Tour is my favorite, though.
Yeah, but no. The Grand Prix...
I love it.
The Grand Prix has a finale that feels like a finale, dude. I'm just going to say that.
When you finish all the Grand Prix.
Yeah. Like,
Rainbow Road.
When you get through all of them,
Rainbow Road.
There's another thing that is just...
It's Rainbow Road.
Holy crap. But it's not just that it's Rainbow Road. It's like this version of Rainbow Road is like... off the charts.
Peak. Champions Road.
Yeah.
Shout out.
So freaking cool. And what I like is that so far, like, again, I played like 4 hours, some Grand Prix and some Knockout Tour last night. I don't think that it's in the online rotation, at least not yet. I think they've saved that for the Grand Prix.
Awesome.
Maybe if you were playing with friends, maybe it's available.
What?
But, I haven't seen it online.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe everyone that's in the race has to have seen it at some point.
Or maybe you could only play it in a private lobby or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
it doesn't show up in the online randoms.
That's badass.
Yeah.
I love that. I also learned that the coins work a little differently this time. Did you see that article?
Which coins?
Coins? So coins don't give you... So if you're heavyweight and lightweight, coins offer different stats.
Oh.
For heavyweights, coins matter later when you're closer to 20. And for lightweights, coins matter in the early. People have done all the percentages and the maths. It's insane. Because this game is a min-max type of game. Yeah. You just min-max the shit out of this game.
I will believe that because I picked characters with fast acceleration at one point, and you feel like you just get blown away by everyone's who has like higher speed in like the Grand Prix mode.
Yeah.
Until you pick up some coins. Like,
yeah.
I'd like I think it became noticeable on 100cc, 50cc, not even close. 50cc, it doesn't matter how many like you just destroy everybody if you just don't have if you play well.
Yeah.
100cc is when it started to notice that like Donkey Kong. Like in one Grand Prix, I was Daisy, and Donkey Kong was just constantly ahead of me for a good like lap until I could pick up enough coins or get a series of power ups that would allow me to like get ahead of them. But they would always like catch up and go past me just on raw speed because they were just like faster character. So I imagine at 150cc, like it matters even more that you really get those coins. And I would say like. It feels like more so than I remember, like really wanting to get as many coins as soon as possible is a lot of like
because you're lightweight. Lightweight race. Yeah, that's what they were saying is unless if you're a big racer, there's no point unless you're going to get 20 coins or something where it's like your stat benefits don't really come into play until the last couple coins, whereas it's the inverse for a lightweight racer.
These guys are crazy. I haven't even paid any attention to stats in this game at all.
It's nuts.
I didn't know like it had like a thing like that. I thought it was just like the more coins you get, the faster you go.
There's like it is full
variation.
It is full Las Vegas gaming odds. It's like a 5.4% speed boost with it's crazy.
One thing that with the free roam stuff, the missions, Huber, there's some of them that are like, this is like game tester territory craziness. Like, because they introduced the wall riding and the flipping and grinds and stuff.
Yep.
I've gotten to some of these missions where it's like, you want me to do what? Like, it's just like this seems like impossible. And then sure enough, I start going the course and I'm like, okay, if I jump off of here and then I flip over to here and then I do that and like, oh, sure enough, it worked. And like but there's like the smallest little things. It's like, okay, you need to like jump off where this pole is. And when you hit the pole, you'll get a little bit of an extra bit of air to get to the goal.
I love that. What was that badass running game we played?
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, it reminds me of that where it's like.
But yeah, it's like
Sprint or Ghost
Death
Runner?
Sprint. Death Sprint. Yeah, Death Sprint vibes.
But like one of these things, like one of the missions is like you're starting on like this pillar next to a bridge, and like you jump off of the pillar, and then you're wall riding, and then you have to jump over to the next wall ride a little higher, jump over to grind on the rail of the bridge, then jump to a pole.
That is Death Sprint.
And then go through the ring. And then there's another one in the ice cream zone that was really crazy.
But I love that you say this because that is actually one of my favorite things about Mario Kart as an entire franchise. Obviously, everyone is like, easy to learn, hard to master, whatever, TM. But those little nuances in certain courses and just being able to get that little bit of edge by having the knowledge and the skill of a course to separate, like, first place or anything else. I think it's just so cool that you can really have an edge by knowing the map and pulling off some crazy moves like that.
Yeah, but it's like the thing is, like, I don't even know that this, like, I have not been able to like successfully use a wall ride in a race with other people.
Okay.
So
it's more flashy then. Is what you're saying.
But it's that challenge, right? It's that sense of like, playing the game differently. It's like, guess what you can do with the tools that we've given you. And I'm like, excuse me? Like, that's what's so fun about it.
Yeah.
And when you hit one of those P blocks and just having no idea what it's going to ask you to do, and there was another, and same thing with like where some of the like piles of coins and stuff are. Like I was on top of the Wario shipyard, and I saw like, there's something up on top of the freaking fortress. Like, how do I get there? Like, figuring out a route.
One of my favorite questions to ask myself in a video game.
Yeah.
How do I get there?
And sometimes even like the rail grinding, like you think, okay, this is just gonna like wrap around or whatever. And the you remember the Peach Beach from like Double Dash or whatever? So like they've expanded on that whole thing, and so it's sort of like what Damiani was saying. It's like there's sort of familiar elements here, but it's this whole other thing, and they built a whole level around it. And I saw that there was one of those Peach coins like on an isolated tower. And I'm like, okay, like I think if I grind from here and jump across, I can get to it. But I started grinding, and it's like, wait, no, I'm not going across. And then like it wrapped me around, and then it's like, and then it wrapped me up, and now I'm on the roof, and I'm like going all over the place, and it was just like, and if I hadn't just started grinding on that one rail,
Yeah.
like I would have never known there was a whole route and all
So
this
you had that
stuff on top of
full-on
it.
sense of discovery.
Yeah, and there's
Love it.
just a lot of that. And the other thing that's really cool is that there's so much in this game that there will be times where, you know, I'll be exploring and I'll find this whole area that like I didn't even know about. You know, like there's like a
That's like not even in a racetrack.
right.
That's
like,
the best. Too.
Like
Yeah.
there's this whole there is I think like a GBA course or something like that. There's like one of those old school tracks that Damiani's talking about.
Yeah.
That it's not an actual track, but it's out there.
Yeah.
And there's like one of those P switches where it's like, hey, go and do a couple laps around this track. And
It's
like,
awesome.
And then vice versa.
You could even have like impromptu races with your buddies, just free roaming.
You could.
Like
You
if
could.
you're on voice comms, it's like, hey, let's race. Here we go.
And the vice versa of that is that there are times when like I will be doing like a knockout tour or a Grand Prix and then realize like, oh yeah, I haven't been here in free roam at all.
Awesome.
Like I need to come over here.
Yeah,
You know,
scope it out.
Yeah, because like you have like
Take a
this,
knee.
this like part that's like kind of up in the sky, you know, and it's like, okay, you can get in there in free roam.
Yeah.
You know, and so just a lot. It's really cool.
Damiani, are you pleased with the amount of modes and content?
It's definitely more than what I got in 8, so it feels more substantial. I still want more, or I guess something that they have not added is they have in free roam the missions, and they do technically give you things like stickers and the peach coins give you stickers or something, or I miss the dedicated like mission mode with like the specific challenges there that
that
like you
shit.
could track, and
that
they had like
shit.
a progression and
love
like
it.
more like
The Wii
special
game, right?
types of like boss style races. That's like the one thing that's kind of missing. So I wonder if they could just like add like a little bit more to the rewards for what you get for doing the free roam missions. It's like I need like a little bit more from that. And then I just think the other thing they're missing that I would love to see is these one-on-one style races where it's like a crazy character. Like you've seen them in like so many other racing games. Like I think, which came first, Crash Team Racing or Diddy Kong Racing? One of them did it first, and it's like, and they're amazing. It's like Nintendo's these great characters. And sorry, I won't say this because I guess it's technically sort of a spoiler in a game, but like there is something when you later on that shows you stuff that made my head race with like, oh, it feels like there could have been more context to a lot of stuff in this game. Like I'm just trying, like not like a story mode or something like that, but it's like there was definitely like a vibe here, like a road trip vibe that they were going for, and it's like we could have had something that like I see these things and I'm like,
Noctis.
why wasn't there like, you know, I kind of like you could have gone further with this Nintendo, like be riskier next time, or if you got an update for us, like
Pretty
you know,
risky, Tommy.
go. They could have gone further. They could have pushed the pedal down a little further on this, and you know, revved it up. But boss style like races where you have and to compare it to another contemporary that's coming out this year, but like rivals, like you saw in this upcoming Sonic racing game, where there's dialogue between them in the races, where it gives you some kind of like stakes. And even if you don't win by beating your rival, you get like challenges, throwing things out there like that. I feel like those are like the few missing things that would make this like perfect, honestly. But it's very good, and it has a lot of stuff, and I feel like, you know, it has done enough. But I would love to see it shoot for even higher next time.
Yeah. I think part of what Damiani's getting at, it goes back to what I was saying earlier, is that like this game is very much designed to where there's not really a lot of great quote unquote rewards. You know, like the costumes are fantastic. and
They're
the carts are
all
fantastic.
amazing.
But
Even
when
though
you
I'm
go
talking
out there
shit
and
about
do
how to
these
unlock them,
things,
they're amazing.
You're not.
They're
you're not.
10.
You're not doing them to get something. Most of, like the so far as far as I know, all the Peach medallions do is give you stickers, right? Like I haven't seen them do anything else.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you turn in Peach medallions for any reason. I'm curious. You know, I haven't like looked at any guides to see if anyone's gotten all of any of the things.
Yeah.
But it's more of that philosophy of like the activity is the reward.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
The journey. It's about the journey.
Yeah, getting
not the destination.
Peach medallion isn't about getting the Peach medallion. It is
Totally.
how do I get there and how fun it is to get there. Same
Totally.
thing with the missions and all of that.
Witcher 3 side quest, Blood, your best take of all time. It's still hard to follow your take on that, but it's a very good take.
And it's just one of those games where it's like, okay, you can get on there and you can play for a few hours and you can feel like, okay, I've had my fill, but then the next night you can just as easily get obsessed again.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, take it a little bit at a time. Don't try to complete everything.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to last for a good while.
Hell yeah. Sure, there's a lot more to come for Mario Kart World.
Mm-hmm.
But even as the dust has settled, seems like we're pretty positive on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I love seeing it all.
Talk about the highest possible expectations for any video game. A Mario Kart on a new console launch. Are you kidding?
Oh, awesome.
One of the highest... Damiani's shaking his head, and it's like the most selling game of all time, Mario Kart. And he's like, expectation... Nintendo Switch 2 launch game, Mario Kart? Not high stakes at all.
I
so
feel
casual.
like this was like one of the... I don't know. This felt... I mean... Are you trying to get me to say that this game could have been not as good as it was, and it would still sell very well, and like Switch 2 would have done well?
Because like as a
consumer,
consumer, the expectations for its quality is higher than just about every single game that releases.
I don't know. I think people are just expecting it to be Mario Kart. All this stuff is like awesome.
Shocking.
And like a cherry on the top for someone like me. But I think the average person was like, just give me more Mario Kart. And I'm good as long as it looks like Mario Kart, plays like Mario Kart. Oh, and probably like the costumes is probably like the one thing people are like, oh, like this is like every other game I play that I'm familiar with as a casual, person who plays games a little bit more casually. Sorry, not derogatory, just how like
never derogatory.
Yeah, so like it's just what they're going for with like that mentality, and I think this goes beyond it to the point where like a lot of people aren't even gonna probably try out a lot of the stuff in here, like. I'd be surprised to see Nintendo's releases these statistics. Wow. But like free roam, I'm curious how many percentage of people who buy and play Mario Kart actually even try free roam out and just don't do like
probably just a little
Grand
bit,
Prix or Knockout
out.
Tour or just race to go online and want to play against friends. You know? Yeah.
Okay. All right. You were gonna say something else? Expectations?
I was just gonna say that like I think the expectations were like as good or better than 8, like,
which is like one of the greatest selling video games of all time. So the expectations are up here.
Right, but like, why would it get any worse? Like, I don't think anyone expected it to be worse. I think they took it for granted. It's like MLB The Show or Madden or COD.
Right.
They're just like, it's gonna show up and it's gonna be good and I'm gonna buy it. Like nobody expected anything.
Yeah, I think people had expectations, but also people like there was the question of like where did they go next, right?
Yeah.
Because
I guess I never take anything for granted. I'm always ready to be like, rise to the occasion, Mario Kart. You are the second highest selling game of all time. You better fucking be good. You're a Nintendo Switch 2 launch game.
Right.
You better be one. You're from Nintendo. You better be the best.
But Mario Kart 8 was like, it wasn't just that it was a new Mario Kart, right? Especially with all the DLC and stuff. It was Mario Kart 8 plus essentially the greatest hits. They brought back so many classic tracks in there. And I'm off mic. I'm like right on top of it. But we'll see. Anyways, so it's like when you put all of the greatest hits into one video game, it's kind of like the Smash Brothers problem. It's like, oh, how do you make a sequel to that, right? It's like, okay, now we're wondering like what they're going to do with the next Smash Brothers because you've put everyone is here, right?
Everyone's here.
And that's what Mario Kart 8 was. It's like everyone is here, so what's next?
How do you top that?
And
exactly.
now, okay, put in a giant open world and like make tracks that are sometimes familiar, but also very all new and have all these other things that you can do in them. And so it's there's still
I'm the same way
there's
when
still wish list things like Damiani is saying that are great. That would be neat to see.
I'm the same way when a Halo game comes out or a God of War. It's like, yo, that first party, top tier, highest possible expectations. What we didn't have high expectations for, Bloodworth, that you have fully finished now.
Yeah.
This is a impromptu review. You're gonna score it at the end of this.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Oh,
that's news to Blood right now. You're gonna give this a score, Blood.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Welcome tour.
Yeah.
Fully finished.
Yeah, I've done all of the stuff except for a couple of things that like I'd need to bring it into the office. There's a couple of mini games that are like 4K related or whatever. But yeah,
sign me up. I'm in.
This is weird because of like in one hand it's a defense of Welcome Tour, but on the other hand it is very much not a game for everyone. This should have been like Nintendo Switch 2 Engineering Class 101 is what it should be.
Okay.
And
explain.
So really, like there are a lot of little demos and things in here that are great and
like the one we played on stream, dodging of the
dodging the mice.
Super fun.
And there's quite a few of those things in there. Like there's some that I really like with because the thing that the mouse can do that a normal mouse can't do is it can also sense rotation and tilt. So there are these really cool like painting mini games where you have like a shaped brush, and so that you have to like paint.
Nintendo loves painting
the flowers or whatever, and rotate the mouse to do it quickly, but without going outside the lines.
Yeah.
But then there's another one where you have to like scrape paint off, and that sucks. Like I never want to play that again. Trying to like get the higher metal was the worst because it's like you just have to like shake the mouse really quickly and try to paint it off and try to get it in like 15 seconds.
Literally says something sucks.
Like no, I never want to do that again. There's another one with like it's like Simon Says with like the grip buttons because it's like
with a vengeance.
Because the point of the grip buttons is like, okay, sometimes like your fingers can't be in all these places at once. So you assign like A and B to the grip buttons. And then like there's this thing on the screen that like highlights, okay, push this button and then that button and then this button and that button. And it's just like just this weird dance of trying to figure it out. Oh, but that one there at the car, that was one of my favorites.
Stunt driving looks fun.
Because that goes back to the mouse thing, because what you do with that car is you hold the mouse like it's the car, and then you've got to like slide it back and forth to like stay in the lane and dodge the obstacles. But then you tilt the mouse and the car goes up on two wheels.
Yeah.
And you have to be on two wheels to hit the boosts.
So fun.
So it's like you slide and then you tilt and then you slide back in it. And so it's...
Out of 20 plus minigames, Bloodworth, how many are worthy of being in Mario Party?
Oh, there's a lot of Mario Party-esque stuff in here.
So you think they're quality then?
Yeah, there's some good stuff in here for sure.
All right.
There's one where you're like, it's like a golf mini game. So it's like you've got to like rotate the golf club into place and then pop it.
Yeah. Isla, did you finish this Welcome Tour?
No.
Lord, no.
No way.
Lord, no.
I didn't even play it when we streamed it.
Yeah.
Or no, I did the mouse with the spiky ball.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I'm done with this forever.
There's another one. One of my favorite ones, Huber, is basically Twister, but with your fingers. And so...
Twister is like red, blue.
Yeah, so like there's a bunch of dots on the screen, and the point is to show that the screen is multi-touch now, and it can recognize 10 points at once. And so it will be like, put a finger on a blue dot, and then put a finger on a green dot, and then you keep going, and then your fingers are just like, oh no, it's purple's next, and I gotta get there. But if you start sliding, it'll be like, hey, you're slipping.
That's fun.
And if you lift at any time, it's done.
It's really fun.
It's super fun.
Chat says there's a secret 11th touch achievement, and I don't know if they're joking or not.
That sounds
That
real.
No, it ends as soon as you hit 10. So I think they are joking,
lies.
probably. There's also things that are like demos that are not actual mini games. They're just like things to play around with. So
I've been informed it was a penis joke.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
So there's this helicopter one is for 3D audio. So you can like fly the helicopter around and listen. And there's one that's a motorcycle where you like rev the motorcycle.
Sick.
There's
seen it in my dreams.
a crazy thing.
Last of Us.
There's some HDR demos. So like you take the screen out and like here's what the fireworks look like in HDR and with the HDR off, and so you can see the like just how much more detail there is in the brightness. One of the crazier ones is Pixel Hunt.
Yeah.
There would like literally be 3 single pixels floating around the screen, and you've got to look at the screen and click on the pixels.
Fun.
And they are so small that like even the dust that you don't notice
Yeah.
when you're looking at it, now that you're looking for a single like white spot on the screen, the dust is larger than the pixel that you're looking for, right? Another one that was really cool is it was the stand. And I didn't even know that the Switch 2 could do this. So they ask you to put the stand at a random angle. And they're like, put the stand at 30 degrees. And so you adjust the stand and then you let it sit.
The protractor
and then
out,
and then you put but then they judge you. It's like okay, you were 10 degrees off or 5 degrees off or 2 degrees off.
This is amazing.
And so then put it at 70, then put it at 22.
Nintendo thing ever.
And what was crazy is that like my brain just got it. Like as soon as I did that one, I was like,
right.
I was within 2 degrees. Like each time, I'm like, how does it able to like sense that, and then B, how was I able to just like nail that so well? What other fun ones?
Did you learn anything meaningful about the Switch?
Absolutely.
2? What did you learn?
I want to get through some of the minigame stuff first.
I want to know.
And then
We're
I'll
gonna
move
quiz
on to
you.
that because that's a whole other level of stuff.
Okay, all right.
There is one that's like it's the actual FPS mechanics. Like you're holding the left Joy-Con and using the control stick, and then you're using the mouse to like pop balloons, shoot balloons.
Oh, first-person shooter, not frames per second.
Yes.
Got it.
That there is the frames per second one.
I want to do that.
I want you to do too.
I want to do that.
I don't have it with me, but like they literally will be like.
Do they have 30, 40, 60, 120?
30, 40, 20, 10, 120.
Sick.
But
I can do 30, 40, and 60 easily.
I didn't think I would be able to tell the difference between 60 and 120.
Easily.
But then I could. And that was pretty neat.
Sick.
But yeah, it'll basically like they'll have a ball go across the screen and they'll just be like, okay, was this 30 or was this 20?
Interesting.
Was this 20 or was this
there
60?
It goes.
Yeah,
there it goes.
There it is on there.
Awesome. That looks like 20 easily.
Yeah. But it's like the shape and trajectory of the ball, because there's like a soccer ball and a tennis ball and a basketball. So, that can kind of throw you off.
Cool.
This is that one was like HD Rumble like memory game. So there's a lot of things like that that play with the HD Rumble. I think I told you guys about this with Super Mario Wonder, where like when I played Super Mario Wonder on the Pro controller, I was like, wait, when I go over these blocks, I hear the music blocks coming out of the HD Rumble.
Yes.
And they actually have a demo in there that talks about that. Like when you change the frequency or whatever, then you can actually just hear through the Rumble.
So cool.
And so they were playing like the 1-up sound and the coin sounds through the Rumble without using any speakers. And there's even one where you can like play with it. Like you can change like the intensity and the pitch and like go like through like a whole axis of different sounds. And then trying to think about what else there is. I think but see, like a lot of that kind of stuff is stuff that I think would be really cool to like put in an introductory demo. And I think one of the biggest things that this whole thing fails at is the gating. because you can't just be like, oh, that sounds like a cool thing. Let me go do that real quick.
You got to get there.
You have to get there, and like you're stuck on this island every single time.
Oh, dude.
And the
Castaway.
only way for you to get from the left Joy-Con to the screen is to find all the stamps on the left Joy-Con. So you have to walk around. That's one of the stamps right there. You have to walk around, find
That's a lot.
these
Holy moly.
invisible
That's a lot.
placards
That's a lot of
for
placards.
the A button and the B button and the mouse sensor and the LED lights and the NFC reader and stuff like the NFC reader. Like there's no physical object for you to like, where is it? You just like wander around until you
Needle in a stack of needles.
exactly. And you have to get all of the stamps in one area before you get to the next area. And it's just a huge tedious pain, and there's not a lot of the reward at the very end of everything. The reward for getting all the stamps is a longer quiz. It's like a 13 question quiz. And similarly, there's like these lost and found items out there. And so like somebody, there's like over here, there's like, oh, there's a hat. Oh, here's somebody's glasses. Oh, here's a notebook. I got all the lost and found items.
Oh, God.
And they're like, oh, that's great. We'll put a star on your map. And like, excuse me.
They love their stickers.
Like, but that's why I'm saying like this whole thing, like
They think stickers are the coolest reward of all time in video games.
They
replace trophies.
Yeah, they are obsessed.
But it's like it's not even noticeable. Like it's the most smallest, stupidest little thing. But the actual cool thing about this, and this is like why this thing is like for full nerds. Like there's a lot to get out of this, because
what did you learn?
You go around
Tell
and
us.
you go to these little pages that tell you things about the console. Like, okay, why is there a gap between the Joy-Con and the base unit when you plug it in? And it's all about physics and leverage. And so it's like if there's
Tell me
no
more.
gap, then the leverage that you have from it touching will allow you to pull the Joy-Cons out by accident more easily. With the gap there, that doesn't happen.
Okay.
Similarly, they talk about like how like the connection to the between the Switch 2 and the dock, how that connector works, and why there's like this groove here or whatever, and that like prevents you from actually damaging the connector at the base of it.
Yeah.
There is a small little plastic piece on one of the feet of the dock, because if they're all rubber and planted there, if you yank on the dock, it'll tip over. But if there's this small little piece of plastic, instead of tipping over, it'll
block it.
slide.
That is some engineering.
Yeah, just all of these little things.
Cool. What else?
Lots of little details
We love this.
about like how the HD rumble works versus how it used to work. Like before, it was like a spinning motor. Now it's a thing that like slides back and forth.
That was the sell of the
Yeah.
Welcome Tour, blood. It's like, hey, I'm gonna boot up my console as it's like downloading and connecting to Switch 1 and doing all its things and updating whatever. Let me learn about the hardware I'm playing on.
Do you know
as
that there's
I'm setting up? That's
Do you know
so
that there's
cool.
water inside of the Switch 2?
What? Liquid cooling?
There's actual water, and so inside of the heat pipe, there's a little bit of water.
No way.
And so when the CPU gets hot, then that goes to steam, and then it goes up by the fan, and then the fan cools it down, and then the water trickles back down, and it's just this cycle.
Liquid cooling?
That is awesome. Dude,
Actually,
who would
this
know
is
that?
very interesting. This
It's
stuff.
so cool.
This stuff is interesting.
Yeah.
Everything else is not. But this is interesting.
Yeah. If I want the mini games, I'll play Mario Party.
Yeah.
The memory, like the memory cards, and then the actual internal memory are placed far away from the CPU and stuff, so that they don't get too hot, because that can slow them down.
Amazing.
They had this whole thing about the speakers, where the like speakers are like put in this sealed box, and then the holes that you hear them out of, they're diagonal, but then they've tweaked the frequency so that they sound like they're coming out straight. Similarly, they do 3D effects with the speakers by having them basically cancel each other out. So there's part of the frequency where it's like it's playing like the opposite of what the left speaker is playing on the right, so you get more of an amplified sense of space.
That's so cool, dude. That's so cool. You loved all the audio stuff. You were like,
yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff in there. They go into great detail about the stitching on the Joy-Con strap. There's 3 types of stitches.
Okay.
Because without stitching it together, then the cable can get like all like tangled up as you're like using the thing back and forth. So they had to like make sure it's stitched together, but then they needed a really strong stitch. There's also some bits of fiberglass in the plastic for the connecting piece of the strap so that it doesn't bend as easily. The way that here's one of the crazier things.
Great.
The way that it plays Switch 1 games, because it's like, okay, it's not, in the past they're saying like, you know, what they would do like with the PlayStation 2, like they had the PS1 chip in it. PS3 they had the PS2 chip in it.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, well, the Switch 2 is very different engineering-wise than the Switch 1, but they don't have a Switch 1 chip or anything like that in there. And they're not emulating a Switch 1. What it is doing is that the Switch operating system is taking the Switch 1 code and in real time rewriting it into Switch 2 code.
Dude.
Like the shaders and stuff. Like it's just like, okay, we're just going to convert this into the Switch 2 language.
Crazy.
Dude,
do you think Mark Cerny is jealous of that? Does he love that?
I mean, he probably loves it. I doubt he's jealous of it.
Cerny loves that.
But
Damiani, does learning about the Switch 2 hardware interest you before we move on?
Not through a game format. I'd rather just do a what ask or a video, like a thing like that.
You don't like the interactivity.
This is cool stuff, but like honestly, after seeing what Astro Playroom did, it's like I want a game that celebrates the history and has like cool factoids, but is a game and a fun game to play. And Sony's just kicked their ass at this. So like this to me is an insult. Despite all this cool stuff, like the fact you have to pay for this, like I'm glad you're enjoying it, but like I can't get past the barrier to entry on this thing.
Yeah, should have been a pack-in.
It's like, sorry, like, and it sucks Nintendo put all this in here. And it's going to be wasted on so many people. Like, it's just typical Nintendo arrogance.
Now that I've done all of it, it's weird because like I actually do think it's worth the money.
You respect it more because you finished it.
But again, like I was saying, it's worth the money if you're a nerd like me, right?
I feel like when I finish games, I respect so much more about a game, and that's why I value finishing games so much. Is because really you look back on the whole experience just from a little more relaxed perspective, a little clearer head. And it really makes me just enjoy more things for sure.
Yeah, but I think that there should have been a free
100%
version of this in some form. You know, like don't have to get into all this nitty gritty and all this stuff. Just show me what's new about the console and what I can do that I couldn't do before.
Yeah,
little thing.
Crazy. They
another fun little factoid.
Just let people learn.
If you connect the Pro controller wired, because it switches from wireless to wired when you actually connect it to the unit, it has less latency than the old Pro controller. Also,
hardwire is the way.
Huber, you're going to love this. They specifically, and we can go in the other room and test it out.
Oh!
They specifically designed the control sticks to not click as much. They're like deadly silent.
Make your controllers quiet.
They also created the grips. They partly based them on the GameCube grips.
Shout out.
But they made them so they don't have that seam on the edges that collects all of the dirt and stuff from your fingers and like rubs up against your hands.
Yeah.
They found a way to like make that happen.
Yeah. Nothing like a GameCube controller with just the grip gone. Oh, brutal.
But the downside to all of the facts part, which is like the best part to me, is that you have to answer these quizzes. Like you read a series of like 4 or 5 different individual parts, and then there's like, okay, now answer like a 3-question quiz.
Love that.
And
Persona.
And it's like
Yakuza.
But it's it just feels like the quiz feels like a waste of time. It's like if I like
the Yakuza quizzes are so
I didn't
fun.
even
It's
have
like
to
real
read
knowledge.
the questions half the time, Huber, because the answers were so obvious.
Yeah.
It's like
They're
like
just layups.
one of the wrong answers would be like spaghetti or something like that. It's just like there's no point for me to have to go back and do
I like
this quiz.
some spaghetti earlier.
I did. I had spaghetti right when we started the podcast.
How was it?
Pretty whatever.
7 out of 10. Okay.
And they have some great historical nods in there too, and a lot of it they really like bring back like stuff from like so even some of the stuff they brought up from like the 60s or 70s that I hadn't heard of before, or like I look at it and like what how does that
loves
work?
This. Blood, you're selling me. All right.
And then
as we move on, review it, dude. 1 to 10.
they have a Satellaview nod in there too.
Oh,
And
pandering.
when they're talking about
That's pandering.
they're talking about downloadable games. Like, hey, the Satellaview had like 0.1 megabytes or whatever it was
Yeah.
of memory.
You're reviewing this, easyallies.com. When we did reviews, 1 to 10, what is it?
1 to 10, what is it?
Yep.
Um,
Price considered.
Yep. I'll guess 6.5.
That seems absolutely fair and correct from where I'm standing.
It's a lot of good information
Not quite
presented in one of the worst ways possible.
Yeah, I guess
give
think
us a
of your,
documentary
like, digital
instead.
Eclipse collections that do like master classes in that and what Nintendo did.
What a
It's
call,
like-
Damiani.
and
What
how
a good
those
comparison.
are worth it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Compare it
versus
to
this.
the gold standard in the industry. Absolutely. If the digital Eclipse is the 10, what is this? That is such a fair take. I agree with that. Did you want your quick Splatoon 3 thoughts?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
did we want to
Yeah,
move
no,
on
they're
forward?
quick. They're quick.
Real quick.
Because they had an update last week, I think.
Yeah.
And so I popped into Splatoon 3 for a little bit, did some matches, did a round of the roguelike mode.
How is that?
Oh, yeah, it's great. Yeah. It took me a
That's
minute to
my-
figure out how it worked again.
That's my catnip, dude. That word. Roguelite. That's my catnip.
The main thing, the number one noticeable thing, is that the lobbies are now full frame rate. They're now 60 frames per second lobbies. So when you're walking around in the town and stuff,
It's not chugging.
yeah. The funny thing though is that they didn't fix the pop in. So it's actually more noticeable now with the higher frame rate because like as you're walking around, you'll just like see like crowd appear in the distance.
Yeah.
The other thing, and I could be crazy for this because I didn't go back to compare to the Switch 1 controller, but I think that the Switch 2 motion aiming is more stable. Like I felt like I was having an easier
Blood's the
time
motion, man. Everybody, if you're
aiming
unaware,
at
he
things with
loves
the Switch
gyro.
2 Pro controller. So that was actually really nice.
Nice. You're pumped then.
Yeah.
Sick. And what's your temperature on that new the new one coming out? That's not
Oh.
Splatoon 4.
Raiders? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm very curious what that's actually going to be.
Nice.
I'm hoping that we actually get to explore a world.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the other thing I thought was weird with the Welcome Tour, is there was not one demo that was like motion control aiming,
Huh. That
like
is
like
weird.
Metroid Prime.
Yeah. What the heck?
Yeah.
They're saving it for Metroid. They're like, yo, just wait. Just wait. All right. Moving on from Switch 2 until Donkey Kong Bananza comes back, and then there's going to be more Switch 2.
I might check out Cyberpunk. I got a Cyberpunk code,
Nice.
so that's something I want to try to free aim and see how that
Yeah.
feels. Yeah.
I want to see that game just like docked or like undocked.
Tabletop mode, yeah.
Tabletop mode, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. All right. Also this week, a lot going on. Tell us about it, Blood.
Cool little one came across my desk this week. Goblin Cleanup. It's going to come to Steam Early Access August 28th.
So fun, dude. Get out of
It is a
town.
4-player co-op game
Yeah.
where you have to clean a dungeon and reset the traps between groups of adventurers coming through.
That is so fun.
While also making sure you don't get killed by them yourself.
Oh my gosh.
So you have to like
the mimic looks so good.
yeah. But it's so funny though. It's like you're picking up these piles of flesh and like these were people, right? Like picking up people's flesh and feeding them to mimics.
Yeah. Do other players come through the dungeon?
I don't think the other players do now.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you have to mop up the blood. You have to reset the traps. You have to be careful not to trigger a trap when your buddy is walking through.
I truly wonder what the first piece of media was ever that had swinging sharp blades,
Right.
like Telltale Heart or
like,
something.
no, some like old, like
not Telltale Heart,
Aladdin
the other
movie
one?
or something.
Pit in the Pendulum.
Pit in the Pendulum. Thank you, Alan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pit in the Pendulum was the
around
first time, like swinging.
But in
freaking,
3D, you mean, or just in any?
yeah, just in general.
Are there any of those in real life? Is my question.
Sense Fortress.
Is
It's a
there
real place.
is that something that anybody has actually made before movies?
Oh my god, that's the better question. That's the better question. Goblin Cleanup has Easy Ally Stream written all
Yeah.
over it.
Yeah. Also, there's like a part where
Yeah,
they
I-
like sing the premise of the game in the trailer, which is really cute.
I do think that there was an old torture or execution method where they would swing a halberd or whatever over your guts like that.
I think you're so right. That sounds so
I
familiar.
actually do think that was real.
There's a
that-
torture thing, not a guarding hallway
guarding
thing.
a treasure
Yeah.
type. Yeah, do not come into this castle.
We got some new details on Final Fantasy Tactics. Based on the original Tactics game, we had figured that out before. New UI, no War of the Lions game content.
That's weird.
That is weird.
It's
Original Vision.
It's Square Enix. This is what they do.
Yeah, it's
they
weird.
They don't give you definitive editions ever.
Yeah.
You get like a certain type of version of a game,
Yeah.
and then you have to go buy the others if you want like to see every version.
That is so weird.
No new submissions or new characters. Uses the original's music.
But-
New conversations, though.
But Damiani, didn't we see Cloud or something?
Yes, so that we'll get to that. We're getting to that.
Okay.
Script edited and rewritten by one of the original writers, Yasumi Matsuno
That's
for the
good news.
voiceover.
That's fantastic news.
Fully voiced in Japanese and English.
Great.
The classic version is included. We knew that.
Great.
The project started after a Final Fantasy XIV collaboration in 2018.
Sick.
Yeah, the Return to Ivalice, which is kind of funny because Matsuno wrote that too, and they made updated tracks for 14 that just sound like modern renditions of the Tactics music. So it's like you just take that and put it into this version of the game, and people who've never played 14 will be like, "Oh, awesome, cool new versions of this." We're like not even doing that, and it's like, okay, that's kind of. I mean, I guess they don't have every track, so people would probably expect every track to be have like a new arranged soundtrack and the original, not just have like 10 tracks being updated and the rest aren't. It's like, wait, that's kind of weird, I guess. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were already overwork Soken. I think he did. I don't know if he did the new arrangements or if it was someone else, but yeah, I get it.
Full development started after they finished 16. The OG,
16.
the original Final Fantasy Tactics was made in 13 months.
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
Like old Resident Evil.
Those PS1 games, man. Yeah, they took count how many Final Fantasies came out in like a span of 3 years.
Ridiculous.
3 difficulties, and you can change difficulty at any time.
That's good.
Fast forward, autosave during battles.
Very good.
You can get Cloud much earlier in the game as one of your companions. And then, September 30th.
What do they mean by that? Like a pre-order deluxe edition?
No. Like you find him earlier in the game.
I think
and
they
can
were
recruit
already
him.
in the game.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Same.
So I don't think it's actually a new edition. I think the voice works the new edition.
Okay,
Because
Yeah.
the voice actors from 7 Remake are doing, Brianna White and
Sick.
Cody are doing the voices for them.
Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Uh,
Hell yeah.
Next up, we figured it was coming, but Marathon was delayed. That was going to come out in September. Now it's basically they'll announce a date in the fall.
Dang.
Probably before the end of March, most likely. But some of the immediate focus areas will be upping the survival game, more challenging and engaging AI encounters, more rewarding runs, making combat more tense and strategic, doubling down on the Marathon universe, increased visual fidelity, more narrative environmental storytelling,
Great. These are
a
all
darker
good.
tone, and that delivers on themes from the original trilogy.
Great.
That's interesting.
These are all really good.
Yeah.
This is good feedback.
Better experience for solo and duos.
Great.
Proximity chat so social stories can come to life, blah, 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 blah.
everything you just said were all the key points. So that's encouraging.
Yeah. So that's some of the stuff that they're working on there.
Great.
And then sad news, go ahead and roll this. I previewed this a while back, but despite a very successful Kickstarter, Alzara Radiant Echoes will not be coming because the studio is having to close down. Fuck. Studio Camellia has not been able to find a publisher and funding. They raised 300,000 euros from 5,000 backers. JRPGs are... they're doing like another like French JRPG kind of thing.
Yeah.
They're doing great, but nobody bit. No, they showed it to a lot of people. They went to a lot of in-depth conversations, but they never got a contract from anybody.
Crazy.
I did see some discussion from some backers that they felt might have been a little misled about that specific point, that they were intending to demo this. Wording in the Kickstarter, I think, it's like currently ongoing. I have no idea what the current sentiment is, or if it's been clarified that like, no, everything was fine. But like, there was like a bit of a reaction like earlier today when I saw like before I started working this morning. I saw a headline, and I read some comments, and there were like people kind of not happy. They thought they felt misled, but that could be completely.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. Yeah,
it's one of those difficult things where it's like, some people are like, well, can we get our money back? And it's like, no, the money was spent on making what they have. Yeah. So
they said that they were up front, and like they said, like, yeah, we spent it on this. Like they were, I guess, it was transparent. I mean, it still stinks. It sounds like honestly, it sounds like they were trying, like they weren't trying to like, they were in good faith trying to make this game happen.
Yeah, it looks
so
sick.
It might just be like backers just, knee jerk ups. That's what I'm trying to get at. They just might be really upset and bummed
backers
that they're a little
invested.
like, they're just angry
They're
right now
invested.
and frustrated. So like, maybe they'll cool off and they'll be like, more level headed in a day or so and be like, okay, never mind. Like they tried,
Looks very,
I mean,
very
even before they got to the Kickstarter point, like, they put their personal savings into forming the studio and everything. And so it's definitely a bummer that it couldn't have found a way forward.
Because games get made, and good games get made by people that are passionate and believe in the game.
Yeah.
And there's nothing, they put all their personal money into it. Like,
I wonder if they can like take what they've got and make like a smaller experience and put that out for like a low price or something.
That is such a good idea.
Try to retain something, because it's like they're looking at this like there's, I mean, who knows how much is actually finished and what. But
even if we're a couple hours,
it's pretty easy to make a vertical slice.
No, I know that. So it's like each of these could be a room and that's it. So it's like if it's at that level, sure, but it's like, if there's a town and a world map and a dungeon, you could put that out as like a little taste or something.
I love that.
Or like reform it into like a
roguelite going on runs in the same like 2 or 3 areas.
Or
I love that.
Card game in a town or something.
Yeah. I don't know what options may be left.
Oh, I guess they said they couldn't release it for various reasons, like copyright and stuff, I guess.
Damn.
But because they probably would have to, pay the composer residuals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Contracts.
Crazy.
Stellar Blade director Kim Young-tae is chatting about a sequel.
Sick.
Says it was originally going to be an expansion to the original game, but the scope got too big, so they decided to wrap that into the new game.
Fuck yeah.
Give it. Huber. They're doing R&D and looking at, quote, the vision of the next generation.
Dude, the first one looks so good visually. Like, the next one, oh my God.
Here we go. Or more next-gen talk.
Yeah.
He says it would be great if it came out in 2027.
Ooh.
But there are only 3 years left, so I can only say that we'll do our best, but I can guarantee that it'll be a great game.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Not sure I agree with his math there.
Yeah, 3 years. It's actually 2.
2.5 to make it by the end of 2027. But yeah.
Fair point. Okay. Yeah.
I'm sure I 100% agree with your police work there, Lou.
I always think that is so interesting. You hear developers say that all the time. Like, oh, it was going to be
fiscal 2027 probably. So
Right.
early
Yes.
2028.
Makes sense. Yep.
Why is everything stupid?
It's like, oh, it was going to be DLC or an expansion, but we're too ambitious. So it's going to be its own thing now. I love when that happens, actually.
Silk Song.
Silk Song. Maybe we don't love when that happens.
In an interview with Digital Foundry regarding Witcher 4 Unreal demo, CD Projekt Red said that
This is the best news of the year.
the game is being built with a console-first mindset targeting 60 frames per second.
Boom.
So
No, like, it always blows my mind when it was like, yo, just make it. I will take worse graphics every single time if the game runs at 60. So just don't make your game heavy and visually heavy if you compromise 60 frames. So I love this. I think this is going to be the, like, starting point now for other developers to start building their games with 60 frames in mind. Might be too late for Grand Theft Auto. I'm hoping for 40 frames there. But the fact that CD Projekt is doing this for The Witcher is nothing but the best news. Yeah. Do you agree, Damiani? Do you have something?
Yeah, I mean, I also think it's just like kind of, necessary. I mean, it's good, but it's also like they're trying to do everything possible to like make you not think about what happened when Cyber
Yes.
launched. And it's like,
Yes.
all they just need to do is like, if they get this right, it's amazing. It's like Cyberpunk's launch was like
An anomaly.
a road bump. It was like,
Yeah.
it was a blip on the radar that like vanished. And it's like, hey, just, everything is solid
Yeah.
over here. It
'Cause
has
even-
been, but like the launch is going to be people like all eyes will be on that launch to be like, hey, well, hey, they've been doing very well, but like, we just want to see. We just want to see.
Because even The Witcher 3...
there'll be slight doubt, but like,
Yeah.
I'm sure they will pull it off. Yeah.
Because even The Witcher 3, for that first month, 1 month of
Oh,
launch,
yeah.
it was a little rough.
Crookback Bog
So-
was kind of a mess with
Crookback
frame
Bog.
rate. Yep,
Nothing
on
like
console.
Nothing like the Bovine Defense Force blood.
Yeah,
It's one of my favorites.
that was a patch that they added that in. Yep.
That's the best. I love that. Separate thing, but I love it.
But there's a whole big long interview about that, so check that out at Digital Foundry. But one of the things
Such good news.
that they were saying specifically when they were asking one of their questions was that like, okay, yes, we know that that was a tech demo. It's not the actual game. They haven't put in AI and combat and all that stuff yet, right? But they're saying that even for a tech demo, like the fact that it never dropped a frame is unheard of, because they like pointed out like
Whoa.
that Matrix Unreal demo, we could
Oh,
remember
that was
interactable
fun.
demo that we played with.
Yeah.
There was like that had very clear frame rate drops, and like for them to show off that demo running on a PS5, even though it's just a tech demo, it's
Base
still
PS5,
pretty.
they said too, right? Yep.
Yeah, because that's what they're saying. The challenge is going to be for the Xbox Series S. It's like
Always.
Oh, yeah.
Always holding us back.
right,
Always holding us back.
but
As an industry, holding us back.
Cyberpunk was a very PC first game. It's like push the bar as high as they can. And the consoles, especially last gen consoles, kind of got left in the dust.
Yeah.
So for them to be going console first here, hopefully there will be a side
Because
where
then
like
you can just
build
crank it up on PC.
exactly.
Right? Exactly.
Hopefully that will be the thing where like
Yeah.
the base layer is already that great, and then just put the PC features on top of it.
Love it. Love it. Good note to end on, Bloodworth, because now it's time for Love and Respect. Love and respect.
Respect.
All right. From Joseph Caruso. Hello, allies. Love the way you serve these up, Blood. We've been talking about it. Here we go. DLC. Hello, allies. I have a question regarding DLC in single-player RPGs. looking at you, Noctis and Prompto and Gladio
Ooh.
and
Yeah, there's an example
Ignis.
for you.
yeah.
Oof.
Which type of DLC do you prefer? Ones that reset the player at level 0 for a unique progression, or ones that bring new challenges for already high-leveled players? I totally see the appeal of the former, but more often than not, I want the latter. What usually happens when I play an RPG I love is that I find all the best equipment and abilities and try all the optional extra difficult challenges.
Yeah.
But by the time I'm at the end game and unlocking the latest stuff, there's very little left to try out my latest strategies against, and I just want to see how far I can go. For example, in Sea of Stars, Blood loves it, I basically did everything in the base game. Beating the optional hardest bosses gave me the most powerful upgrades, but nothing difficult to use those upgrades against. But in the new DLC, you start at level 1 and there are brand new moves and equipment. This should be exciting, but as I was already so familiar with the existing moveset that I find myself being more frustrated than happy to play more of a game I love so much. I wish DLC would give more to the most diehard fans and leave the resetting of players for a sequel, but I totally understand that not everyone feels the same way. So how does the panel feel about these different types of DLC? So, in a nutshell, DLC that is more standalone in a sense, kind of doing its own thing, resetting the player, or DLC that pretty much continues where you left off, giving you just harder stuff and more stuff, basically continuing the game. Where do we stand? What do we prefer?
I mean, we were just kind of talking about CD Projekt, and I think Witcher 3 is a really good example that it's sort of like
best of all time.
Pretty good best of both worlds example, because
you can get it can just give you a leveled character if you want to just hop in.
Right. But in addition to that, they added a whole bunch of new systems in there, right? With Blood and Wine, they gave you new stuff to mess around with.
It gets me going, Blood, because it is the best.
Yeah.
God, I love Blood and Wine.
Or no, was it Blood and Wine or Hearts of Stone that introduced the new stuff? I think they had new stuff in Hearts of Stone.
Definitely.
First. But anyways, but yeah, so you sort of have that option where it's like, okay, well, if you don't have a save file that's ready for that, you can just start off with a standard set of stuff. And if you want to continue with what you have, then come on in and keep your journey going. The other game that I think it works pretty well with that kind of continuation is Borderlands, like Borderlands 2 and 3.
Easy Allies Resident Borderlands fanatic.
They were really good about, bringing you in there with the stuff that you already had.
Yeah.
And that's definitely more of a continuation thing, right? But talking about they're talking about the upgrades, right? So like you have sort of these sort of repeatable things that you can do, kind of like raid style bosses and things that you can do with friends in Borderlands, where like, okay, you got these unique weapons and like there's still actually something you can do with them after the fact. So,
that's fine.
Yeah.
Nice. My mind, it's not quite an RPG, but the genres are, cells interlinked now. They're all mingled. It's all the same.
Mm-hmm.
God of War Ragnarok Valhalla.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best of both worlds because it is technically after Ragnarok. You are learning all this other new stuff. It is new stuff. It feels like it's out.
But do you have the skills and stuff that you unlocked from the base?
No, so that you have to earn
the
weapons and the builds of the run. So it's like each run is kind of its own standalone thing, but it is a continuation.
Yeah.
So cool.
Kind of sidesteps it a little.
Yeah.
I like when it integrates into the game in a, like, where it's just like a part of it,
Yeah.
Like Outer Wilds, they added the expansion and it's just like a missing half that you didn't realize was missing.
Yeah.
And then you play it and you're like, oh shit, yeah, this is perfect. And you can come to it from an already existing game or within the context of a new game.
That's great.
That's how Souls does it too.
Yeah.
Like Dark Arisen,
Yes.
Dragon's Dogma. It's a harder area in that, so it's like kind of designed for later game, but like it's just part of the world, and you can go get on that boat and go over to the island and do Dark Arisen stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Same.
Like that's generally my thing, because like unless I choose to start a game over, I'm not doing that. Like I'm not starting over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
You
it's
know?
less that you're starting the game over and more of like these.
Side story thing.
Yeah, it's like you basically have like a miniature game within a game where it's like
To me, that's like a special. I mean, yeah, it's a thing, but it's like
because
a
Liza
DLC
P is like this, right?
special
It's a whole new
mode.
thing.
Yeah.
It's like a different mode.
Yeah, Liza P takes a page out of From, as it should, and as it does beautifully, where it is this extra story that fits perfectly into wherever you come at it from, post game, mid game, whenever. But you can access
So level scales or what?
that I don't know, but you can access it like mid game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's not just
Yeah.
a prequel thing.
But I'm
Okay.
coming at it from a post game, and it is pretty brutally hard. So yeah,
A couple of times I've gotten into the trap of, Dark Souls 2, I did this. Elden Ring, I did this. Where it's like, okay, I'm on New Game Plus.
yep.
You've
told me about this.
And I have to do the DLC now. Boy,
Yeah,
Elden Ring was fine. Like, that was no big drama. But, like, god damn it,
Yeah.
that Dark Souls 2 DLC was so hard on New Game Plus. God.
one of my biggest regrets, and I'm gonna get to it. I know, because I know it is a 10. Everyone is obsessed. Phantom Liberty. The reason I haven't hopped in was because like a little before Phantom Liberty came out, I had already beaten Cyberpunk.
Wait, you hadn't gotten, I thought you did Phantom Liberty. No?
I've
Okay.
played it and I previewed it. I never
Okay.
finished
Got it,
Phantom
got it.
Liberty because the idea of I already beat the game.
Yeah, no,
And,
I don't.
like,
I don't love
betrayed
that.
Idris, man.
Yeah, I know.
You betrayed him.
I know. The apocalypse was not canceled. I had already like had my journey with V. So the idea of like resetting that, and not resetting it in the
Yeah.
terms of replaying the game, but like booting it up again and then all of a sudden going back, like when you have to load your save before the completed game save, you
Right,
know what?
right.
It's like, oh, do you want to load a previous save before the final battle to do the DLC? And I'm like, I guess, like, I already beat the game. Now I'm just doing it. Yeah, it just feels weird. There's like a
I definitely prefer in games. I prefer in games where it's like, some of the Elder Scrolls games did this, and Fallout, some of those do that, where it's like you beat the game, you did the thing, and then it drops you back
Yes.
in after that's happened.
please, yes.
I don't like it when it resets you before it's happened.
Same.
Because then you're
Isla.
just like, what? Wait, oh, okay.
the stakes are gone.
My experience hasn't happened yet? Okay. But I love in like Morrowind or one of the Fallouts where like they add a new dialogue thing where you'll like talk to people and they'll be like, hey, you're the person who saved the world.
Love that. Yes.
That's you.
Yes.
And like then that's perfect to me for like another DLC kind of scenario.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Any takes, Damiani? DLC?
Yeah, I mean, I like both.
For sure.
I liked Future Connected in Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, which you don't have to do anything in the main game other than you should play it to understand the story.
Yeah.
But it's just like a separate mode that was added as DLC, extra content for the Definitive Edition. But I also like stuff that's in game as well. That's not even necessarily like New Game Plus, but it was kind of interesting to play it out of order because it was meant, I think, the Final Fantasy 16 DLC. It's clearly you unlock it pretty far into the game, and you're supposed to do it
That
before
was a
you
similar
beat the game.
thing. That was a
But-
similar thing that rubbed me, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rubbed me the wrong way. Yep.
And so it's like, oh, I'm getting penalized by, but at the same time, so yes, it's true. I never get to experience it the way where it could have, like, I don't know if it was meant to be played that way, but probably would have been intended.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm cool with like in save file or new save file where they do something meaningful and cool with it, but it doesn't feel like it's really penalizing you too overtly, where it feels like it's tedious to get to the thing that the DLC is adding.
Yeah.
And as long as it's something that, is, satisfies that, I feel like I'm okay with it. So I'm good. I enjoy both types, honestly.
Hell yeah. Blood, man. All the insanely good characters in the freaking Witcher DLC, dude. Olgierd von Everick, bro. Regis. Gunter Odin. Like, best of all time. Best DLC all time. Let's play a game. Every time I think of The Witcher 3, I have to fight my impulses to reinstall it.
Don't uninstall.
God. Was it on Stadia? Greetings, allies. That's really funny. The Witcher 3 was like my whole Stadia like hope. So like, hey, if the Stadia plays The Witcher 3.
No, Cyberpunk.
It was Cyberpunk. You're right.
Cyberpunk.
You're so right. With the Switch 2 having been out in the wild for a few weeks now, I've seen plenty of people posting about their most wanted ports to the system. This is from Sponge J1, by the way. Which made me think about the most interesting system any game has ever been ported to. Google Stadia. Below I've listed a bunch of games, and it's up to you to guess which had native Google Stadia ports and which never made its way to Google's revolutionary flop of a platform. So, I kind of gave it away. Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
Stadia port. That was my like silver lining of like maybe Stadia will be good if it can run Cyberpunk at the best.
Yeah.
Didn't work out that way.
The problem was Stadia was not the best high-end PC you could get. It was, fine.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Wild.
It was not ultra settings.
Yeah. All right, here's a hard left turn. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Stadia port, yes or no?
That's the main one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes?
Well, I say no.
It is yes.
It is yes. Okay.
All right.
Let's split on that one.
How about Darksiders 1 War Mastered Edition?
No.
No.
Yes.
No port, only the second and third games.
Dang.
Shout out to Darksiders 2. I really feel like Michael Damiani would love Darksiders 2.
And
Little bit of Devilman.
Darksiders 1 and 2 already.
Yeah, do you love 2?
And I like them. The only problem with 2 is everyone kept screaming how much it's like Zelda or something, and it was getting on my freaking nerves. But I still liked it. But I was like, just because it looks like a damn I was like,
just because it's a dungeon.
This comparison is so damn lazy. I was like, please stop. I was
You're
like,
so
we
right,
gotta
dude.
stop this.
You're so right.
We gotta stop this, please.
All right, Tomb Raider 2013.
I feel like they're putting that on
Yes.
everything, yeah.
You felt correctly, Isla. The
Nice.
entire trilogy reboot was on Stadia. Final Fantasy 14, Damiani.
No.
Oh, on Stadia? No,
Yeah.
it didn't have a Stadia
No, no,
version.
no.
No, it didn't.
Nope.
No.
Though Final Fantasy 15 did. Far Cry 4, Stadia.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Ubisoft.
Maybe it's a trick and it was like...
Ubisoft is
Far Cry 3
pretty
or
all
something.
in.
Ubisoft's all in on every platform possible.
I'll be different. I'll say no.
Correct, no. But Blood Dragon 5, 6, New Dawn, and
Okay.
Primal. Remember those?
Yep.
New Dawn
Wow.
was
Remember when
low-key
those-
fine.
Do you remember when
Low
Actually, I don't
key
remember New
fun.
Dawn.
New Dawn was
What
low
was
key
New
Dragon
Dawn?
was like the
That
coolest
was the
trailer
girls. The like twin girls.
I thought that was Blood
That's
Dragon.
Wolfenstein.
No. That's also Wolfenstein. New Dawn, or maybe like one lady for sure.
I don't remember.
There
New
was,
Dawn.
yep, right? The girls, dude. The twin girls, yep. Of course. And it takes place after Far Cry 4.
I never played it for sure.
Oh, I beat it.
Crazy.
Because I'm a freak. Yep. Far Cry.
I mean, it's just gonna look like
New
Far Cry if you're
Dawn,
making a
dude.
video. You're better off with the box art.
Insane.
Oh, I remember this trailer. Why
Yeah.
go... What the fuck?
Wild. Yeah, and you were the twins. Or you had to fight the twins. You had to kill the twins, I think. I think maybe you had to kill them.
I remember this.
Yeah, it was like a smaller...
yeah.
It was a smaller one. Fun one. Dead by Daylight.
Sure. Yes.
Correct.
No.
It's yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Hotline Miami.
Yeah.
No.
Ooh. No?
Hotline Miami, yes.
Oh.
Get your Stadias to play Hotline Miami. How about Life is Strange 2?
I'll say yeah.
No?
No, though the remasters of 1 and Before the Storm and True Colors were all ported. So it's very
Crazy.
interesting
Wait,
to see.
True Colors was that?
Yeah. How weird is that?
Skipped it.
How about Arc
I don't know if I believe the True Colors one.
Oh, it's here. It's according to Sponge J.
According to Sponge Day, but I don't know if I believe.
Yeah,
Sponge
we
J.
need a fact check there.
Maybe
Okay.
it was planned, but I don't know that it actually happened in time.
How about
Okay.
Ark Survival Evolved? Where's Vin Diesel at, dude? Where's that game?
It was released on September 10th for PS4, 5, Windows, Xbox One, Series X and S, and Stadia.
Okay.
Arc
Nintendo
Sur-
Switch was on December 7th, 2021.
Yeah, but when did Stadia get killed?
How about Ark Survival
Did Stadia
Evolved?
get killed?
No.
No.
January 18th, 2023 is when it was killed.
Dang. A little over 2 years now. Ark was yes. How about Marvel's Avengers? Get that Marvel money.
No.
Yes.
No?
Oh, it's yes.
It's yes.
Oh, it's
Okay.
yes.
That was
Wasn't that
more,
one of their biggest, like,
More ended up there than I
Soundbite?
thought.
I think it was, Isla. How about Celeste? Small
No.
but mighty,
Probably.
10 out of 10
I'm
Celeste.
gonna no.
No.
shit was on the
Right here,
Ouya.
no.
Shout out, Celeste. There is a Stadia port.
Wow.
Shout out.
I'm
Get it.
getting this more wrong than I thought.
All right, here's a good one. Resident Evil 2 Remake. On Stadia, yes or no, Resident Evil 2
I'm
Remake.
gambler's fallacy. Let's go. No.
I'm going no.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
ride
yes.
I said no.
it. No. No port. The only RE games to make it to Stadia were 7 and Village. All right, we got 3 more.
One's
Thumper.
like a cloud version.
4 more.
Thumper, yeah.
Yeah.
Stadia. Thumper.
No.
Oh, it's yes.
It's still yes. Okay.
No.
How about also? It's been so long since this franchise. Not so long, but like I'm already ready for it to come back. Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus.
Let's go. Yes.
That's the twins, right?
That was Youngblood.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
New blood, young blood. It gets
That's why.
That's why.
That's
yeah.
why.
That's why
Holy
we got
crap.
confused.
Oh my god.
I played Youngblood. I played Youngblood all the way through with Grumbomb. One of my favorite gaming memories.
I love that.
It was so fun.
That's like how I love Revelations 2 because I played it all the way through with Omar, and Omar's like, "Yeah, you didn't play the second player."
Totally.
I'm gonna go no. Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
I
Nope.
said yes.
No port. Youngblood was actually the only one on Stadia. 2 more. Big RPGs. Dragon Quest 11.
No.
Stadia.
No.
Apparently, yes.
Okay.
Unexpected.
Okay.
Dragon Quest 11 on Stadia.
Okay.
I mean, it's a good pick for Stadia.
Now this is a good one and a tricky one and a great crunch. Baldur's Gate 3 Stadia.
The fact that you said a
No.
tricky one, I'm gonna
No.
say no because it was
Fuck.
like revealed at a Stadia event.
That game, the Stadia was dead by the time that came out, wasn't it?
There you go. That's
Yeah.
That's double points for both of you. No port, although one was announced. Stadia shut down before it was released.
Yeah.
Wild.
Huber, Elise just texted me. It's not a spoiler. It's a character name from 28 years later.
Great.
Jodie Comer's character's name is Isla.
Oh, I
Ah.
love
Yay.
that. Sick. That rules.
Yeah. Love her.
Love it. Oh, okay. Did you want to do this one next, Blood?
Mhm.
All right. Kinda-
I don't know what you mean.
well, it, just
There's
use-
always 3.
What's up?
There's always 3 for the public.
Yeah. Just I thought it was out of order because of the game. I always think the game is last. My
You
bad.
It
should
doesn't
do this
have
one,
to be.
but read it from the bottom
It just
up.
doesn't have to be first, or just can't be first because then we're doing a jingle into a jingle.
Jingle all the way. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sinbad.
Yeah.
What up, allies? Matt Curran, a.k.a. Hikar W. I saw a report today that Sony is interested in acquiring Warner Brothers gaming assets or divisions or whatever. I love that. Usually when I see news of an impending gaming acquisition, I don't like the sound of it. Especially with so many great studios getting bought up and then mishandled or shut down in recent years. But frankly, Warner Brothers sucks at handling their video game properties. I'll clap for that. Yep. Between several mass layoffs, canceling the Wonder Woman game, excessively monetizing the Mortal Kombat franchise, holding the Nemesis system hostage, doing almost nothing worthwhile with the Game of Thrones IP, and the unbelievable level of ignorance it must have taken to think Suicide Kill the Justice League would be anything other than a colossal failure, and probably more I can't remember off the top of my head, it might actually be better for the industry and for consumers to have Sony step in and right this ship. Do you agree that this could be a net good acquisition? And are there any other companies that are so bad at running things that you think could benefit from being acquired, especially by one of the console manufacturers? So, Warner Brothers getting acquired by Sony, is it good? And any other sketch
And this is
companies.
like a day after Warner Brothers was like, "Hey, we're restructuring and we're only gonna do
Right.
like three different kinds of games."
Yeah.
Well, they specifically like just pigeonholed their studios into doing franchises.
But they cut Zaslav's income too.
Yeah.
Good.
Get his ass.
Fuck him. Yeah. Jesus.
But yeah, it's
Honestly, I'm just going to say that I agree 100% and that Warner Brothers should be, all those things should be moved elsewhere. Anyone could do better. In my opinion, you can't do worse than what they've done. So I think anything would be a positive.
it would
direction.
definitely be a relief for Mortal Kombat because I feel
Yeah.
like they're in the scariest position.
it's always
Because
funny
that is
with,
their baby.
It's always funny with a thing like this, and like we've seen this with Disney over the years too, where it's and you'd think Disney would be able to do this no problem, but
Yeah.
like they've spun up gaming divisions and closed them down like twice or something.
Yeah.
And like
Unlimited cash.
Yeah, but it's just a weird thing with these giant IP farms where it's like, why don't you just license it out? Like, why? Like, I know why to try
Yeah.
to own it yourself, but it's like,
Shout out to Marvel doing that at least.
right? But isn't it? Yeah, isn't it just like, it has to be more lucrative to not have to spin up and pay for anything in the first place. Just have someone else do it and rake 30% off the top. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
Find your match. Find your match.
Right? Yeah.
Like the Marvel fighting game coming out with
Token.
Yeah.
Token.
Yeah.
Exactly. Token.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
betraying Capcom.
Yeah.
for our-
It's not like that's all. That's the thing, though. It's like
That's
it's
betraying.
it's not like
I'm just teasing.
these are the only companies that make these franchise games, right? They are actually, having other developers work on these franchises, and that's why this like, the game of them daisy chaining from one corporate overlord to another to another to another, like that's why it's such a pain because these studios didn't just make franchise games. These studios were just video game studios on their own. Thankfully, like Mortal Kombat is still, NetherRealm is still making Mortal Kombat. But these guys all just got pigeonholed into this stuff because of, these guys feeling like, oh, we can only do the big brands because that's safe for them. But it's like, it's clearly not, as the last year just saw. Like, it's not about using your IP over and over and over again. It's about investing in the studios that are going to make great games and having them make great games and like actually making decisions.
Yeah.
How about that? How about you make some decisions and not just have everyone spin their wheels and then say, no, actually, we don't want to do that now.
I would have loved a third Shadow of Mordor game.
But that's the thing is they weren't even working on a third Shadow of Mordor. They were working on an all new thing, and then they just got scared of that. And it's like you just made a bunch of money off of the studio.
Mm-hmm.
Like, give them a little chance, or give them a scope that's not so scary.
Yeah.
But instead, you just like let them work on that for a few years and then say no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and it's also funny that like these giant companies and like the money men, they're, especially when their companies are so diversified in different modes of entertainment, like they don't understand all the branches of their own tree, and
Right.
like that's how you get like, you know, higher ups asking if GTA is a popular franchise. Like, do many people play that? Like if you have these people who don't understand gaming at all, and yet they're making decisions because they don't understand that a game takes 4 years to make, and it's a giant IP that they funneled a bunch of money into because to support the IP they needed to pay a bunch of money for it. Those congruence or like confluence of circumstances just is a nightmare. It just makes everything fall apart. You need people to either just believe in the people they hire,
Yeah.
or not buy things they don't understand.
You're so right, because how often do we hear that even the best games we play are a freaking mess 6 months before they come out?
Mm-hmm.
So I can only assume that when shit like this goes down, you know, Warner Brothers shareholders who don't even know what GTA is, maybe they see a slice of a game and it is an absolute mess, and they shut it down before it can properly grow.
Oh, sure.
Just a theory.
Damiani, you got thoughts?
I would say generally, it feels like it should be against anyone acquiring anyone at this point, seeing like what's happened. But then we just spent time talking about it, and also like the history. It's like this might be like one of the exceptions.
It
where it's
is.
like,
I agree.
Can it get any worse? Can it get any worse?
Yeah.
Like
Warner Brothers, you're on
it
timeout.
It could definitely get worse, but it's like this probably will be better. But you know, obviously, it'd be nice if these studios were under, you know, somewhere that cared about them, and you know, and everything you just talked about like nurturing them, allowing them to make their games, and you know, nurturing that talent and developing that talent. So, yeah, sure. If it happens, then yeah, do it. You know,
I like what Isla said
about WB.
I like what Isla said about just hiring people to handle it. You know, you want to make a Lord of the Rings game, you have Avalanche to it, like they did Mad Max and shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing that's curious about this too, because like, okay, well, you know, if someone like a Sony did purchase these studios, like, are you now contracting them to keep making these IP plays, or you know, or how long does that go on, or you know, or are they going to actually have the freedom to manage the studios well?
Yeah. Let us hope.
And what's the deal with the freaking Game of Thrones IP? Like what? Like do we need it? Why is this part of it?
Crazy.
Like why is this just not over? Like it's just
either over or like where is just The Witcher but Game of Thrones? How have we not even like got that game? How has that not come out yet?
I mean, I guess you know what's the name of the sequel series? The
House of the Dragon.
House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
Right. Like I don't feel like they're leaning on that enough.
No.
To you know, that's where instead they're going back to Jon Snow and stuff. Like why are we doing this?
Bizarre.
Yeah.
I liked the Game of Thrones Telltale game. I liked it. What do you want from me? All righty. By the way, before we get to this week's bets, Easy Allies patrons are getting 2 bonus love and respect questions, including a question about meeting your heroes. I shook Guillermo del Toro's hand.
Nice.
One of the best moments of my life. I was like, Mr. Del Toro! Mr. Del Toro! He like looks over, shook his hand, he smiled, right in the eyes. It was the best. So if you want to get in on the extended cut, no ads, in the Discord, where they're voting on top 10 water levels as well, consider becoming a patron for $5 little a month. Any support at all would really go a long way to keep this independent media games outlet going. So check it out. Also, if you really want to help us out, you can join one of our producer tiers. Our platinum producers get a shout out on this podcast each and every week. This month's shout outs go to Jabboabs and Elfanis. Shout out.
Wow.
Now come join us on Patreon for those bonus questions. Patreon.com/EasyAllies. It is time.
You're so happy about this one.
I love this bet. I love this bet. It's a fun one. It is almost time for Death Stranding 2. An absolutely monumental day quietly approaching. It feels like it's so quiet and almost out of nowhere, even though Death Stranding 1 came out 6 years ago.
That doesn't sound right.
2019.
I know it's right, but it doesn't sound right.
I know. Hideo Kojima has a freaking video game coming out. It is a big deal. We just got Switch 2. Now it's Kojima's turn. It's exciting. It's exciting to love video games. Death Stranding 2 will be out next week. How many times will we see the words film or movie in the top 10 English reviews on OpenCritic? Damiani the Arrogant Child. Also film, films, movies, plural counts. Yes.
7.
7 times.
7 times.
The wickedly talented worm, Daniel Bloodworth.
31.
31. Holy moly. Criterion Closet incoming. The whimsical Scum Isla.
18.
18. Punish Castellanos.
33.
33.
Whoa.
The Strange Valentine, Gabby.
3.
Great
What?
bet. Great bet.
What?
That's way low.
Just the fact that you're the same as Don.
Don
2
at
weeks in a row.
33. Don at 33.
No, Don is 33.
33.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And the Fancy Stars member, me.
But Gabby is 3?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
I had 16 times.
Nice.
Boxing me in there.
I know. You have the 18
I've got the
to
mid, yeah.
18 to 20 plus range. That's good.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Last week's bet. The Gex trilogy is now out. Has anybody been playing?
No, I think
Anyone
I sent
out
it.
there?
Don has.
I think I sent it to Don. Yep,
Hell
yep.
yeah.
Don's into it.
Nice.
Sick.
That
He
is
says
a
it
good sign.
rules.
Oh my god, don't. Dude, I have so many games to play. Last week we asked how many times we would find the word reptile in the reviews on OpenCritic. Damiani said 10. Bloodworth said 5. Isla said 8. Don said 2. Gabby said 2. I said 7. Hardcore Gamer, 0 times. ZTGD, 0 times. Way too many games, that's true, 0 times. Nintendo Life, 0 times. PlayStation Lifestyle, 0 times. COG Connected, 0 times. PlayStation Universe, 0 times. Xbox Achievements, 0 times. Checkpoint Gaming, 0 time. Ladies Gamers, 0 times. Bringing the answer to 0, meaning Don and Gabby both win.
Fix is in, dude. What's up?
Boom. They were all watching the episode.
Yeah.
They were like, I'm not putting a reptile in the review. Bringing the scores to Punish Castellanos. Don in the lead with 7.
You just go, bah!
He just went, ah! I don't know if he's going to do it or not.
And the Strange Valentine Gabby with 2. Hideo. Shinji Mikami was asked about a possible Evil Within 3, and he said he would be open to returning to make it. Just saying, recently, there is a pulse on the Evil Within 3.
Nice.
The Evil Within 3 at this point is my Shenmue 3. Let's fucking go. All right. Some latecomer SGF impressions of Digimon Time Stranger are coming.
No, they're out.
They're out. Sorry. And last but not least, Marvel Cosmic Invasion that we had to hold for embargo. Damiani and I both got to play. We had to hand off the controller. We didn't play together, but we were together. The betting special results, a lot of you are waiting. They're coming. It's a beast. It's being edited. That is a beast. We also have got another preview coming up on Monday that we saw briefly at SGF, but now we've got to put in a little more time on it. And next group stream is this month's Stream Team. So if you're a $10 patron, you can head over to Patreon and vote on what we're going to play. We have a list of games. Check it out. Let's go.
We'll have the list of games when Damiani gets the list up, but they'll be there soon.
Yes. Please be excited for that. And Don and Gabby, you both win. You are both the winners. You get to shout out to anything or anyone that's on your mind this week. You get the final word, and you get to sign off with your trademark sign off. Take it away.
Okay, we're going to split the duties. I'm going to give a shout out to Asura the Striker. This little game Bloodworth pointed out to me. Sick as hell, kind of like a Space Harrier clone.
Dude!
But like super high res and sick looking. Huber,
You
it looks
Suzuki,
sick. Check
bro.
it out. Asura the Striker. Look, the really cool thing about this, it's like a 2-guy team. They made
Dude,
this in
nice.
their off hours from their day jobs, so we always like to shout that kind of thing out. It borders on, some of the stuff is like almost identical looking to Space Harrier, but it's a spiritual successor.
Yeah,
so it's
you remember
awesome.
the one we played recently, Yu Suzuki's actual follow-up.
Yes. I don't know. To me,
I liked that one.
This one grabs me immediately the way you'd want like a fresh Space Harrier to do.
This
So I don't
looks
know.
sick
Yeah, check it out.
as
Check it out.
hell.
Check
I'm
it
looking at it
out.
right now. There's
Shout
a
out,
demo,
Asura.
and
Demo,
it's
yes.
on sale, Don.
Oh.
on
I
Steam
didn't know that.
for 2 more days. It's on sale, 20% off.
Booyah.
It's $12 on
Fate
Steam.
made it this way. All right, Gabby, your turn.
I'm doing a final word.
Mm-hmm.
My final word is give Firebreak a chance.
Yes.
I think the onboarding is tough, but I just appreciate it when a company takes a big swing and tries something, and that's what they're doing.
Hell yeah.
And it is also too expensive, but it's free on PlayStation Plus and Xbox. Included with that stuff. Xbox
Game Pass.
Game Pass. Thank
Yeah.
you. So give it a try.
Give it
Play
a
with
go.
me and Huber. If you
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll play with
me
anyone.
and Huber. Yeah.
And the trademark sign off.
I guess we're both doing our sign-offs.
Great.
Nothing is true, everything is permitted. Get the dream egg from the Moogle Chocobo Carnival to unlock the Master Assassin's robes for Noctis.
And sayonara, essays.
The Rog.